Rights to freedom is dead. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters, welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. I appreciate every single last one of you all for being here with us this evening. We have much to discuss because everybody's favorite sister girl, homegirl, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has put her foot all the way in her mouth, and she's got a lot of backlash from the Black Grassroots. All right, she's been out there, she's been talking all this stuff, and she's been saying a lot of stuff that the Black Grassroots just does not appreciate whatsoever. So we're going to get started. We're going to have a full house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we get started, I have to let it be known that everything we play here is under the guise of fair use. It's all under the guise of commentary and all of that fair use stuff. So as you guys are hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that share button, hitting that all of the buttons, hit all of the buttons, hit all of them. Any button you see, just press the button. Hit all of the good buttons, all right? Except the dislike button. Don't hit that button. Hit all of the other good buttons, all right? As y'all doing that, I will play the copyright disclaimer so it can be very well established officially that everything we play here is under the guise of fair use. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Oh, hold on. We already got some super chats. Let me get to the super chats real quick. Shout out to Y Smitty says, let's go. He sends $20 super chat, let's go. And then Racia Media says, what's up, Afro Elite? Something for the collection plate. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I will put that into very good use, brother. I sincerely will. Thank you guys for being here with us. We got a lot of people, only a few minutes in here. Let's start off with, and just to be clear, we already played the copyright disclaimer, but let's start off with her clip from the Breakfast Club. All right, so here we go with that.
I mean, Canada has really been the one to call it out. The fact that I'm rooting for Canada and I'm rooting for Mexico a lot is really wild. But they are really the ones that are speaking truth to power right now. They can see what it is, and they were like, we are not messing with this crazy regime from Mar-a-Lago, and basically calling them thugs. That's what it is. But I'm like, y'all knew who he was when y'all elected him. So don't act surprised.
Okay. So just to say that, okay, this is because of the fact that Donald Trump, ever since he's gotten in, Donald Trump is talking about he's put a bunch of sanctions, or not sanctions, my bad. He's put tariffs. This is something that we all knew Donald Trump was going to do. Donald Trump has been promised this in Agenda 47. This is not nothing surprising. This is not nothing new. Nobody is shocked by this. But Donald Trump has essentially been saying, hey, America does a lot of good business with these other nations, and these other nations seem to be kind of stingy. These other nations rely on America, and it seems as if we constantly getting the short end of the stick. So what Donald Trump decided to do is Donald Trump decided to put tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. So because of the fact that it is Donald Trump and that Jasmine Crockett is a Democrat, she's going to essentially say that anything and everything Donald Trump does is bad. So much so to the degree that this sitting congresswoman, she's not a former congresswoman, she's not running for anything. This sitting congresswoman is going to say she is rooting for Canada and Mexico.
Call it out. The fact that I'm rooting for Canada and I'm rooting for Mexico a lot is really wild. But they are really the ones that are speaking truth to power right now.
And I want you guys to just understand this. Let's just let this be abundantly clear, 110% clear. This goes to show the fact that these people do not have what's in the best interest of America. These people have what's in the best interest of their party. They will assist a foreign nation and quote unquote root for a foreign nation over America. just because they don't like the other side of the aisle, just because they don't like the Republicans, just because they don't like Donald Trump. And a lot of people are all like, hey, y'all, a lot of the Democrats that was all like, we love America and all that stuff, y'all kind of showing y'all hand with this. A lot of y'all Democrats are showing your hand. A lot of y'all Democrats are showing out. So a lot of them are being called out. Now, we definitely got to acknowledge the next super chat from our good sister, our good mod, Nisi, sends $100 super chat. She says, your blessing, Afro, for putting in the work. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your support. Okay. Great mod, too. Thank you so very much. So a lot of people have been putting a lot of pushback on that. Now, she was on a rocky road. Okay. She wasn't doing good. But what did she decide to do? She decided to go a lot worse. So recently, and I'm going to pull this article up real fast so everybody can see. Recently, Donald Trump has discovered, there's been a lot of discovery with Doge, and there's been talks about Donald Trump and Elon Musk sending out checks to the American people when they found out that Doge essentially has been misusing and misappropriating a lot of the funds. They said that, you know what, we should have a return, essentially somewhat similar to a tax return given back to the people from the Doge money. All right. So we're going to look into this just a little bit. All right. So hold on. Let me pull it up. Okay. This is it right here. So this is Elon Musk. You know, he's, I guess, in charge. They say he's not in charge. He's an overseer. So his position in Doge is kind of just floating all over the place according to them. But anyway, it says, and this comes from CNBC, says, as the so-called Department of Government Efficiency looks to cut federal spending, Elon Musk and President Donald Trump have floated the idea that some of any savings could come back to the Americans in the form of $5,000 dividend checks. So essentially what they're going to do is they're going to look at all of the, I'm talking about billions of dollars that has been allocated to the government from our taxes and given to these foreign nations, given to anywhere and everywhere. They're saying that, you know what, we can give that money back to the people. So we can pretty much give everybody, we'll calculate everything, we can give everybody $5,000 checks, similar to the stimulus check, similar to the tax returns and everything. And we're not going to read the whole thing, but we're just going to essentially establish that. Continuing, it says, but experts say it's too soon to say whether these checks could materialize and caution that if they did, there would be an economic consequence. There would be economic consequence for consumers. All right. It says both Musk and Trump boosted the proposal that James Fishback, CEO of investment firm Azora, posted February 18th on social media platform X that suggested sending millions of American households checks. Quote, America sends their hard-earned tax dollars to Washington, D.C., Fishback told CNBC.com. He said he believes some of, quote, those tax dollars were wasted. Quote, it continues to say, these need to be reinstituted to, sorry, I had something on my screen real quick. These need to be restitution to correct that. Okay, there needs to be restitution to correct that. So essentially, that's what they're saying. We're going to get to this very last part. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button as you're coming in. It says, the White House released in early February a list of what is called, quote, waste and abuse of funds at the U.S. Agency in International Development, including $1.5 million to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, we all know DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that benefits everybody but us as foundational Black Americans. All right. So this is the federal government saying that, hey, we can use that money and we can actually give that to the citizens. All right. And it continues to say, Sabria's workplace, $700,000 for a DEI musical in Ireland. So I want you guys to understand that essentially they're just giving money. I'm talking about just giving money away. They're giving close to $1 million, $700 or $70,000, so $70,000 for a musical and a DEI musical in another country. I'm talking about they're just giving money away to a whole bunch of foreign nations. So what Doge is finding out is that, hey, you know, we could kind of use a lot of that money, a lot of the money that's been essentially wasted and abused from the federal government, that can go back into people's pockets. We can take at least some of it and redistribute that back to the American people, because y'all been wasting it for so long. This has been going on under the Democratic Party. This has been going on under the Biden administration. All right. Now, they're very upset about this because they've been telling us that there's really no money, that they don't have any money, they're penny pinching, that they can't get anything done. Yet when we see all of the money going to this foreign aid, we say, hey, this is our reparations money right here. This is our reparations money right here that you guys are wasting and sending over to other people. So, of course, you guys know that Jasmine Crockett had something to say about that, about the potential. It's not set in stone. It's just really a proposal or a suggestion by Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It's not nothing set in stone. It may happen. It may not happen. But Jasmine did not even like the idea that they proposed. So she goes on ABC, and I'm going to play the whole clip, because what they're going to do is they're going to say, you guys took the clip out of context. This is the excuse they're going to make, that the clip was taken out of context, and the clip has not been taken out of context. That the clip has not been taken out of context. All right. So we're going to establish the fact that she said what she said, and now because she's facing backlash, she wants to take it back. She wants to take it back. But we're going to show you the clip in full context, in its full context. So let's get started.
President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from Doge back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID. That was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us, because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime, because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists, or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you if you are unable to find a job, because I am telling people we are headed towards a recession, because the United States government is the 15th largest employer in the world. And so firing those that work for the federal government isn't going to necessarily create new jobs in private industry. In fact, Southwest Airlines, based in my district, just announced for the very first time in its entire existence that they are doing a layoff of approximately 15% of their workforce. If you pay attention, the signs are there. And I'm not telling you to be an alarmist. I'm telling you because I want to be honest with the American people. And my background, believe it or not, I was a business major, and none of this looks good for us right now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, my thing is that if you were a business major, and that's great, and that's fine, that's wonderful, where was your expertise in business, and your expertise in the economy, and your expertise in us potentially going into a recession? Where was all of that when the government was spending millions of dollars, billions of dollars, to the degree damn near of trillions of dollars overseas. Where was your business expertise? Why did you defend that? Because when Biden was doing that, when Kamala was doing that, you had no problem. You made a million excuses for them. You defended every single thing that they did. Now all of a sudden Trump wants to give money back, and now you're a business person now. So when all of these illegal immigrants were coming into the city and the cities were going broke, multiple major cities going broke to try to take care of them and subsidize them, where is y'all business expertise? Why is it, I'm just asking, why is it only when Donald Trump does something does everybody be all like, well, we got to look at the paperwork and we got to understand that there's no way we can afford to do all this stuff? It seems like y'all can afford to do a whole lot, actually. To be very honest with you, it seems as if you guys can actually afford to do a whole lot. That's kind of what it seems like, because y'all have been spending all of this money. Trump is saying, hey, look at all this money. We can return that back. Now, what's interesting, and I'm going to play it back again in a second. What's interesting is she tried to tie Donald Trump's cuts to the federal employees to everybody being jobless. Let's be very clear, okay? There are cuts. The Trump administration is making cuts, and there are people who are losing their jobs because there's just certain programs and there's certain departments that are just getting shut down. There are certain federal programs, departments, and initiatives and stuff like that that are just getting shut down. So right now there are people who are kind of on paid leave, and they're going to get like some type of subsidy about that, but that's not really what this is about. But there are people who are like, hey, sooner or later, your business is not going to be here. This company is not going to be here. So you're going to get a little bit of money, so that way you don't just go completely broke as you find a new job. It's not like snap, everybody's fired. So everybody has a little bit of time to prepare to re-enter the workplace. That has absolutely nothing to do with Doge. That don't have nothing to do with Doge, and that doesn't have anything to do with the average American citizen, and especially the average foundational Black American. Really doesn't. To be very honest with you, it really, really doesn't. What she's talking about is, what is that going to do if everybody's unemployed? Ma'am, you're talking about layoffs of the federal government. What Trump is talking about is not giving Doge money to the federal government or employees of the federal government. What he is talking about is giving $5,000 checks, which could go a long way to everybody in the society, the American people, especially right now. You guys don't want it. The reason why Jasmine Crockett does not want that is because she and the rest of the Democratic Party wants Donald Trump to be this big, bad boogeyman. And they want to say, hey, you guys, y'all voted for Donald Trump, and this is what you guys get. You guys shouldn't have voted for Donald Trump. They need Donald Trump to be this big, bad boogeyman. They need Donald Trump and Elon Musk to mess up, and they need him to ruin his brand with the public. They need that. They're relying on that. So everything and anything he does, they're going to make it seem like this is a disaster. The sky is falling. This is never going to work. She brought up the stimulus package from 2020. That ain't got nothing to do with Doge. That literally has nothing to do with Doge. Why would you not support this? And something else that I found out to be very interesting is that she said, we are not in the business of giving money. Let's play that back again. She said that.
Down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may.
And I'm sorry, but what is the rambling for? Honestly, what is the rambling for? She's essentially just, she's rambling. This ain't got nothing to do with no vaccines. This got nothing to do with Ebola. What are you talking about? She asked you, what do you think about Doge or Donald Trump's proposal to give people $5,000 from the Doge money? And she just rambles. But I want you to hear when she says we're not in the business, quote
We
unquote,
had a
of giving
once in a
people checks.
lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime, because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing.
And because certain platforms are very sensitive, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to leave the situation alone. I got a lot to say about it, but we got to be careful what we say on certain platforms. If what she was saying about us relying on scientists and relying on the experts and relying on all these, jabs and all that stuff, if what she was saying was 100% correct and they were being 100% truthful about it, why did Biden have to pardon Fauci? Can we pause there for a second and just think about it? Because a few years ago, they said that Fauci was essentially a scientific genius. He was a scientific mastermind, and that we should trust Fauci with our lives, which a lot of people unfortunately did. And I'm not going to go too far because that's veering off to another subject, but they said that we should trust Fauci with our lives. And then he gets up on trial and says, hey, I was kind of figuring it out as I was going along. I really didn't know nothing. And then Biden pardons him. So you're telling us that we should fear Ebola and everything like that. It seems like y'all don't know what y'all doing as far as the medical field is concerned whatsoever. Because if that's the case, if y'all did, y'all wouldn't have to pardon y'all doctors. You literally have doctors you have to pardon. So it don't seem like y'all know much about what y'all was doing. And I don't want to get into no conspiracies or anything like that. So I'm gonna just leave it there.
Not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
Now, we're not in the business of giving out money. Notice she said that first. So no, we're not in the business of giving out money. Y'all was in the business of giving out money when illegals came over here. So much so y'all broke essentially the economy. Cities are going into massive debt, billions of dollars of debt. Y'all not in the business of giving out money, but it's okay when Ukraine gets the money. It's okay when all of these other foreign nations gets the money. Y'all giving money to Ireland for some type of musical program or school or teaching. What are you talking about? Y'all not in the business of giving money. Y'all was acting like money was not a problem whatsoever. Now when Trump wants to give money to the American people because you guys essentially have abused the money that was taken. This is essentially really, if we could say it, this is really another tax return because this is the money that we've been paying into taxes. So this is not money that they're just printing out. This is money that has already been taken out of our taxes. If this is money that's already been taken out of our taxes, and if it goes back to us, essentially this is really another tax return. We're not in a business of giving money. I can't tell. Ask the Venezuelans that. Ask the damn Hispanics that. Ask all of them that. What do you mean we're not in a business of giving money? Everybody gets money. Y'all would not have a problem if Harris won and she said we're going to give people a tax thing. Y'all wouldn't have no problem whatsoever. Now, all of a sudden, giving money is a problem to the people who are struggling. And why it's a problem is because if Trump manages to somehow, some way, give people $5,000 checks on his first year back in office, I want you to understand he's only been in office for like a couple of months. For like literally a couple of months. Actually, it's really only been like 1 full month, I think. If Donald Trump manages to give the American people $5,000, the Democrats are finished. I want you guys to understand that. And she knows this. She knows this. That's why she's on this platform pretty much saying that, no, it would be bad for the economy. We can't afford it. That's not going to do anything. And people are going to get fired. Panic, 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 panic. No, because you know for a fact, if it gets out that y'all, first off, it's already been out that you guys have been essentially stealing money from the public. Because not like y'all just been taking the money and misspending it. Y'all haven't been letting us know what you guys have been spending the money on already. So if it gets out that you guys have been misappropriating funds from the tax-paying citizens, and now Donald Trump found out and returned that money, the Democrats will never see the White House again. And she's very well aware of this. This is why she's essentially said, hey, we're not in the business we don't want you guys to give out the money. Now, what's interesting about it is that she told the truth initially. Initially, she told the truth. We're not in the business of doing that. We're not trying to do that. We don't have the intention of doing that. She didn't start off with saying, well, we can't afford this. She didn't start off with saying, because you really can't say we can't afford it. You really can't make the argument that we can't afford that. You really can't. You really can't make the argument that we shouldn't do it. There's really no legitimate argument that you can really make. So essentially, hey, we're not in the business of doing that. No, we're not trying to do that. No. None whatsoever. I'm telling y'all, a lot of people dislike that. Jasmine got backlash like a mug. She got absolutely drug by the grassroots. I only got a few clips to play you guys, but there's a lot more. When I'm telling you guys, she got drug by the grassroots. I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating either. Drug like a dog. Let me show y'all. These are several people made videos.
We are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 would do for you. Those words were said by Miss Jasmine Crockett. Miss Jasmine Crockett, there are people struggling in the United States. There are people working 9 to 5s that are struggling in the United States. That $5,000 will help a lot of families. Now, I know to you, maybe $5,000 isn't a lot of money, but it will definitely help a lot of American families. And since we're on the topic of giving out money, we had some migrants that came to our country. They live rent-free. Our country gave them a lot of money. There wasn't complaints about our country giving these people a lot of money. Then we have some other situations where our country was giving out a lot of money to other countries. And I'm not sure if I've seen anybody complaining about that. Here's the thing. America needs to help Americans because Americans need help.
Hey, I couldn't agree more. I 110% agree. Actually, let me make this bigger for y'all. I 1000% agree. Now, when illegals was coming over here, living rent-free, wasn't working, wasn't contributing to the economy whatsoever, only taking away, committing crimes, burglary, taking away, making people have to pay higher insurance rates. I know, because I had to pay higher insurance rates because of all of the crime that they were doing, all of the break-ins that they were doing, all of the burglaries that they were committing, all of the crimes, plus all of the free money that was just been given to them by the government. Where this Jasmine's business finance expertise, where was that at? Y'all become business majors and y'all start penny pinching and y'all don't want to spend no extra money anytime the Republicans are in office. Y'all be sitting on y'all hands talking about, hey, I'm saving money. We just can't afford it. We just can't do it. Yet when illegals are here who are not supposed to be here, who broke into the country, we got all of the money in the world. Y'all just open up the damn treasure chest for them. But y'all don't want us to have it because if you did, you would have to give credit to Donald Trump. So you'd rather the American people suffer because it would make your party look bad if it came from Trump. That's how loyal they are to you, not the public, not the citizens, not even the country, but to their own party. Let's continue.
Help Americans. Don't be stubborn. I'm out.
And Jasmine Crockett, I want you to shut the fuck up with your big wig wearing ass. Cause what the fuck is you talking about? Y'all ain't in the business of handing out money. Ain't you the same motherfucker that was fighting so hard for reparations? Huh? Oh, but you ain't in the business of giving out money. Oh, you don't got so high class now you talking about something. What will $5,000 do? A $5,000 will do a motherfucking lot. You must forgot all of us ain't taking money from the American people like you. Cause how the fuck your salary $174,000 a year and all of a sudden your black ass worth $9 million? Bitch, please, tell me what the fuck going on. What you investing in, cause it ain't wigs. Not the way your shit sitting on top of your head need to be deflated. Them big ass holiday heart, you big holiday heart wearing wig motherfucker. And you been stealing money from the American people and now you talking about something. You ain't got no job. Oh, back to the job and Bidenomics. Y'all bitches the reason it ain't no job. Y'all motherfuckers talking about some y'all created 13 million jobs. But come to find out them 13 million jobs, 82% of them jobs is just jobs that reopened after the pandemic. So bitch, y'all ain't created a motherfucking thing. The fuck is you talking about? You just mad they in your shit too and they gonna know how the fuck, where the fuck that 9 million came from. Talking about y'all ain't in the business of giving out money. Duh, cause y'all done gave it all out. The fuck, y'all ain't in the business of giving out money to us, but y'all are giving it to them Ukraine motherfuckers with your Steven ass. I'm tired of this shit. Cause your ass, you better shut up cause you on the block too to go to damn gym.
Hey man, hey, did this brother not go off? And let's come on now. With $9 million, Jasmine, you can do something better with these wigs out here, Jasmine. Come on now. She been trying to step it up, but it ain't stepped up enough. Lord have mercy. And everybody talking about it. Let's get to this. And I want you guys to pay very close attention, okay? I need you guys to pay very close attention to this sister right here because Jasmine, in the response video that we're going to play later on, make sure y'all hit that like button too. Make sure you do that. Now, do that right now. But we're going to play that in a second. But Jasmine actually responds directly to this sister right here. All right. So y'all make sure y'all remember what she says.
How long are y'all going to go hard for Jasmine Crockett? She's not for you. She's not for the people. She's putting on a show and she's lining her pockets. If she actually really cared about the people, she would be going for more money. Instead of saying that the United States government isn't in the business of handing out money, even though they're giving it to men who sleep with other men in South Africa, even though they're giving it to Ukraine by the billions, even though 100 billion of that money is missing, even though they're giving it to all of these migrants who have come in and have not paid into this system at all, even though they're giving the money to, obviously, these lawmakers who are compounding their money exponentially by the year. Jasmine Crockett is saying that America is not in the business of giving money to its citizens. What? But she could be fighting for us to be getting more money. The argument could have been, instead of 20% of the savings going back to the American people, why is it not 50% of the savings going back to the American people? Why is it not 70% of the savings going back to the American people? No, that was not her argument. She said, what can $5,000 do? And she said they're not in the business of giving us money. $5,000 could do a whole lot for a whole lot of people, actually. $5,000 could do a lot for me. I know that. That's helping somebody get out of credit card debt. That's 6 months of somebody's car payment. That's childcare. That's groceries. That's repairs around the house. That's healthcare and medical bills. $5,000 can actually be pretty life-changing for the average American. But Jasmine Crockett is not the average American, nor does she care about the average American. I don't know when y'all gonna pick that up.
Jasmine. Hey, and that sister not telling the God's honest truth? She was telling the God's honest truth with everything that she was saying. Y'all not in the business. That part right there messed her up. Now she's gonna try to make an excuse, and we're gonna play her excuse, but she's trying to make an excuse that we're gonna play it. We're just gonna play it. But the part that messed her up first was not the, well, what are you gonna do with $5,000, or that's not that much money. The part that messed her up is we are not in the business of giving out money. That's what the Democrats are on now. Out of all of the money that y'all been spending, that's what the Democrats are on now. We don't want y'all to get none of y'all money back. That's what y'all on? Okay. And this is why she's getting drug all through the damn internet. Let's continue.
Crockett said the people don't need $5,000. The United States citizens, we don't need $5,000. At first, I thought this was fake news until I Googled it. And she was like, yeah, we're not in the business of giving away money. With all that aid for all those unnecessary educational programs that y'all send into these foreign countries by the billions of dollars, what are you talking about? You're not into giving away money. Whether you Republican, whether you Democrat, MAGA, whatever, who doesn't need an additional $5,000? Come on now. Especially with eggs being $12 a carton. Jasmine Crockett is worth $9 million. She makes $170K annually. And who knows what kind of perks she has with that position. What are you talking about? $5,000. What will $5,000 do for the people? And another thing that I find unethical that I just learned, she owns stocks. So you already know policies that's going to happen that will affect your stocks, so you can make a smart decision with those stocks. But to sit up here and say we don't need $5,000, speak for yourself.
Now, to get to what that brother was just talking about, they always say, well, Trump, he just wants tax cuts for his billion-dollar friends, his billionaire friends. Trump, he's just signing tax cuts for his billionaire friends, and he's always defending his billionaire friends. Don't they say that? Don't they say that all the time? They say that all of the time. Oh, you know, he only cares about the rich. You know, he only cares about his billion-dollar, million-dollar buddies. That's what they say all the time. Well, Jasmine, you sitting on some good money. You sitting on some good money. You might not be, well, you are technically a millionaire, but your salary might not be $1 million. But you sitting on some change, Jasmine. You sitting on a little good piece of change right there, Jasmine. Jasmine ain't struggling. Jasmine ain't hurting. Jasmine ain't really broke like that. Jasmine got it good right now. While she's sitting up there telling everybody that, hey, we ain't in the business of giving y'all no money. That ain't really what we on right now. That ain't really what we doing. Let me tell you, that ain't really what we doing. We ain't on that. Well, Jasmine's sitting up there looking good. I'm not looking good, but she's sitting up there with some money in her pocket, with some money in her bank account. Like the other brother said, she got bonds and all of that stuff, which is probably why her net worth is so high. Because normal Congress people don't have almost $10 million in their net worth. So you would have to buy stocks and bonds and stuff like that. So that's why your net worth is good. So you straight, Jasmine, while you trying to tell everybody else that we should be upset with Donald Trump because of Donald Trump's $1 billion buddies and he's making tax cuts for the rich. This is something that the Democrats talk about all of the time. Oh, you know, Donald Trump is making tax cuts for the rich and tax cuts for the rich and tax cuts for the rich. Okay, so when Donald Trump wants to do something for the American people, for the average American people, y'all say no? Y'all say no. But y'all the ones who constantly preach about how all the Republicans care about is the corporations and the rich. So the first time, well, not the first time, but the one time, even if it was the first time ever that they want to do something for the general, average, everyday citizens, y'all gonna say no, we ain't in the business of doing that? Oh, you really just told on yourself. See, that part, if she would have just omitted that part and said, well, what's $5,000 gonna do if you guys are unemployed? Well, first off, if you're unemployed, $5,000, you can stretch $5,000 a decent amount. Unemployed people definitely would need $5,000 until they can get back up on their feet. So, okay, $5,000, you can't make an argument that $5,000 isn't important, but you're going to say y'all not in the business of getting that money while you sitting up there good. You're talking about tax cuts for the rich, and he only cares about his rich buddies. If you weren't on the other side of the aisle, you would be one of his rich buddies. If you weren't a Democrat, you'd be sitting up there right with them. Talking about tax cuts, that's you. You don't want to sit up there with close to $10 million while you talk about, well, we ain't in the business of giving out money. Oh, okay. All right, then. But I'm talking about she's getting drugged, y'all. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Jasmine Crockett got her bad wig having ass on this motherfucking social media and said that the government shouldn't be handing out money. Girl, what? The $5,000 Trump trying to give us, that's taxpayer dollars. Meaning taxpayers put that money into the government. They misappropriated the motherfucking funds. Trump and Elon found out about it, and they trying to do something right and give it back to the damn people. And you talking about something the government shouldn't be giving out money? Girl, is you cool? Y'all the same motherfuckers that sat on this goddamn internet just a couple years ago and was all for all of the immigrants getting money. You was all for sending all our motherfucking tax dollars overseas. You was all for that. But when it comes to money that is owed to us, money that probably shouldn't have even been taken from us in the first place, being put back in the hands of the people it belonged to, now you got some shit to say? I'm sick of her. Joy Reid, I'm so happy that bitch got fired too. Keep her off the motherfucking airwaves. Y'all was all in cahoots when it came to these motherfucking immigrants and Joe Biden and Kamala ass. Y'all was all in cahoots when it came to giving out free shit that was undeserved. But the minute we bring up reparations, the minute we bring up giving back some motherfucking money that the taxpayers are entitled to, everybody's panties is in the motherfucking wad. Y'all was all with sending money all overseas and shit for wars that don't even make sense. But the minute they want to take care of American people, you find a problem with that? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Is y'all cool? Is y'all alright? All motherfucking skinfolk ain't kinfolk. Joy Reid, you're not even from here. So you don't need to be speaking on nothing that pertains to Black American business, period. That's just point blank the fuck period. We don't need your comment on no Black American issue ever again in the history of niggerdom. Okay? Jasmine Crockett, baby, it's giving Oreo. It's giving sold the fuck out. We don't want to hear shit you gotta say anyway. If somebody trying to put money back into the American people pockets, it don't matter if you Democrat, Republican, Independent, green, blue, red, I don't give a fuck. You should be supporting that, especially if the money was misappropriated and it didn't go to where they claimed it was supposed to go. Why wouldn't you want it to go back into the people's pockets? Y'all's op-ass motherfuckers. And I don't like the fact that y'all melanated doing this shit on top of, y'all melanated on top of doing this bullshit. Y'all making us look crazy as hell. We don't claim them. We don't motherfucking want nothing to do with them two motherfuckers. Do with them what you will.
Hey, I'm talking about she drug her, didn't she? And she took Joy Reid down too. She was all like, hey, if I'm making a video, I might as well throw Joy Reid under the bus too. I mean, she drugged them both. And this is exactly, she's 100% correct. This is our money. This isn't money that we're asking the government to give us because we need some help. This is money that they have been taking that they should not have been taking at all. And they've been giving to things that don't benefit America, don't benefit the citizens, don't benefit really even them. If we're going to be honest, they've just been giving money away. Just essentially throwing our money away that we've been giving them. And then when we all like, hey, okay, well, you know what? We could kind of use that money back. Oh, we ain't in the business of giving y'all money back. So y'all want us to suffer. I want you to understand something. Jasmine is literally willing to let people suffer. Her and the entire Democratic Party is willing to let the American people just suffer. Just suffer and go down and struggle. Just so she can make Donald Trump look bad. Because what they're going to do is the next coming up midterms, they're going to be like, see, now y'all said y'all wanted the price of groceries to go down. It didn't go down. Donald Trump said he was going to bring the prices down. It didn't go down. So you got to go with us now. You see, you got to go with us. We were right the whole time. You should have voted for Harris. We were right. But you guys don't want Donald Trump to do a good job. See, that's the thing. That's the problem. The problem is you should want what's best for the American people, regardless of who the president is, regardless of if it's a Democrat or regardless of if it's a Republican. You should want what's best for the American people just by default. You should be able to cooperate with people of the opposite party. You should be able to work with them, and you should be able to compromise. But the thing is that you literally don't want the president to do a good job for the people, and you want the people to suffer just because it would make your party look bad if he did a good job. And that's the truth. That's honest to God's the truth. That's 100% the truth. That's 100% the truth. Let me get to the super. We got more to go. Y'all. We got more to go. Let me get to the super chats real quick. We got Presidential Mike says, if Trump starts giving out Doge dividend checks, this would be enough for Democrat voters to start paying their student loans. Yeah. Now, y'all was talking about student loans. Y'all was talking about the price of Medicaid and all of that stuff, the price of insulin for diabetes and all of that, how Trump is raising the prices on all of that stuff. If he giving out checks, y'all, we can do it ourselves. We could do it ourselves. But y'all don't want him to, that's the thing. They don't want him to do a good job. They will want us to suffer under him. Shout out to my other good brother, Tell It Like It Is. He says, of course, there will be an uptick in diseases when you allow our border to be flooded with all willy-nilly. That's very true. You don't know where these people are from. You don't know what these people have in their own countries. They're not being vetted at all. You don't know their habits when it comes to being sanitary in this country. You really don't know. How many videos have we seen of other countries of people just putting their whole hands and feet in food and making sandwiches on the dirty floor outside? How many videos have we seen of foreign nations doing that? And they're serving it to the people. We literally don't. I'm talking about it's all over the internet at this point. We don't do that. And you just allowing these people to come over here and then serve food and have businesses. Yeah, there's going to be a huge uptick in diseases. He continues to say, how can Jasmine, quote, the industrial wig wearing Crockett, fix her mouth to talk foolishness? Lock her plastic wig wearing ass up. Hey, yeah, honestly. And to be very honest, there needs to be an audit, because how does she have $9 million as her net worth? How? Where's that money really from? Where is that money really from? So yeah, there needs to be some, we need to know about this. But since Jasmine Crockett has been getting drugged all throughout the internet, she decided to say something about it. She decided to make a video about it, and we're going to play her response. Now, I want you guys to remember, let me take this back. I want you guys to remember, she really went after this sister, because this sister, as you can see, is in a classroom. So it looks like this is some type of, I don't know if it's a middle school or whatever the case is, but she mainly addressed, out of all of the backlash from all of the brothers and sisters, the foundational Black American brothers and sisters that was rightfully dragging her and cooking her, she really went after this one. Okay. So I just want you guys to remember.
I hope y'all can hear me.
What do you have to say? Okay, come on.
Hey, I hope y'all can hear me. I know it's late for most of y'all if you are still on East Coast time or Central time, but I just want to go live really quickly because y'all is wearing me out. Like, you know, I better understand why Black folk got hoodwinked and got caught up and started saying that Kamala wasn't black enough or she wasn't even black at all and all this kind of stuff, because legitimately another member of Congress.
First off, we ain't get no hoodwinked. We ain't get hoodwinked. Well, hold on. Who was you talking to? This woman is not black. Oh, I now understand. Essentially, she's calling us stupid. I understand how you guys got hoodwinked into thinking that Kamala wasn't black enough or black at all, or anything. You mean we got hoodwinked into looking at her parents and her heritage? How did we get hoodwinked when we found out who her parents were and when we found out who her grandparents were? Where was the hoodwink in that? That's what she's doing. She's calling us stupid. That's what she's doing. Anybody who's saying that Kamala Harris wasn't black, she's saying it's stupid. I understand how y'all dumbasses got fooled, is what she's saying. But okay, all right. That's a hell of a way to start that video off, though. It's a hell of a way to start the video off. But okay.
She wasn't even black at all and all this kind of stuff, because legitimately another member of Congress sent me a video of a woman who supposedly is a teacher. And I'm saying supposedly because I am hoping to God that this woman is not an educator of our future scholars, because for whatever reason, people don't question when right-wing media puts out things about me. Now, would you think that I'm their bestie, or that I am literally their number one enemy? Or for all of those saying we're the Democrats. And then when people are out there and they're fighting for you, you immediately...
First off, I gotta say this. I don't want to pause it too much. I'm gonna take it back. But her body language, her mannerisms and all of that stuff, like I keep saying, make sure you guys always got to pay attention to the body language. You always got to pay attention to the mannerisms. We can't see where she is right now. I don't know if this is some type of party or event. You hear noise in the background, but she said to me, I'm gonna be honest, she sounds drunk. She sounds like she had a couple of drinks. She sounds like she's at some type of event or cocktail party or something like that. And she sounds like she saw a video and she's all like, you know what? I'm going to just say something. I understand how y'all niggas got hoodwinked, you dumbass nigga. That she ain't saying that out loud, but that's what she's saying. That is what she's saying. And I want you guys to just notice that. Just notice, and that's why I made it bigger so you guys can see it. Okay? Notice she the camera's not still. It's not like she put the camera down on the table and said, you guys understand? It's not like she put the camera right here and said, okay, I want to respond to all of the backlash. I know a lot of people have taken that video out of context, boo up the bam, but I just want to address a couple of things like you would think a sitting congresswoman would do. But she got the camera. I want to say something to every single last one of you guys. Okay, I get y'all not that smart. I want to know why y'all would even look at a video. Like, she's all over the place, just kind of just do, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't seem like you're really in your most sober moment right now. Okay, somebody should have said that this was not the best look to post after getting drugged, because this ain't gonna help you. This ain't gonna help you, babe. It ain't gonna help you.
Literally their number one enemy, or for all of those saying we're the Democrats. And then when people are out there and they're fighting for you, you immediately believe some of the most ridiculous stuff ever. You can go and look at all the videos of me and all the things that I fought for, even my conversations around reparations, and then you...
Ooh, even your conversations about reparations. Say less. Say less. Okay, your conversations about reparations. Remember, she said something about reparations, y'all, because we're going to get into her conversations about reparations in a moment, okay? Since she's talking about reparations now, we don't know her stance on reparations. We're going to get into that in a little bit, all right? Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Let's let her continue. She shouldn't even bought reparations up. I'm gonna tell you, because this is gonna backfire. This is gonna backfire. See, this is why you don't make videos like this when you're drunk. Trying to tell you. Because I'm talking about she put a foot in her mouth with that ABC interview to now putting both feet in her mouth.
Not even questioning. Like, this video kind of ended abruptly. Y'all ain't got no questions. Y'all just like, oh, okay. And legitimately, this ABC interview, it's on YouTube. Like, it's just a matter of like Googling. You can see the entire interview. And if you have an issue with what I said, then that's perfectly fine. Because, you know, for now, at least we live in a free country. But let me tell y'all exactly what I said, since some of y'all are really confused because Elon and his friends decided to put it out there. What I said was, what is $5,000 going to do for you if you don't have a job? That is what I said. That is what I said. Because I can tell you that there's a lot of people that are losing their jobs with the federal government and could care less about a $5,000 check. There's a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs as it relates to private industry that could care less about a $5,000 check. So
No. We're going to go back, because we're not going to let her skip over the main thing she said that everybody is dragging. And this is why I let all of the clips play. I let every single last one of these clips play, the full clip, or not all, because there's a whole bunch more. But I let these clips play because I don't want you guys to take what they're saying in our criticism as the Black Grassroots out of context. We're not, because she did say, yeah, what is that going to do if you're unemployed? Which it would do a lot. I mean, I don't know why you would say that, but it's what she said before that everybody's dragging her for. That she's not acknowledging, okay? She's trying to act as if people are taking her words out of context. So let's give a reminder of exactly what she said, okay?
If you are unable to
Hold on.
business of giving out money, not in the business of giving out money. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money.
That's what she said. So no, we're not in the business of giving out money. Y'all, I want y'all to know, this is damn near Kamala's no. I'm not going to do anything only for black people. No, this is damn near that variant of the clip. Okay, this is Jasmine Crockett's variant of the I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people. No, that's what she's saying. Now, Harris was sitting up there trying to make it seem like that was taken out of context. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. No, that's what you said. What Jasmine said is we are not in the business of giving out money. Now, she's going to make it seem like, no, well, what I really meant was if you get fired, no, baby, that's not what people getting on your tail for. People getting on your tail for that. So she trying to play this game where people take her stuff out of context. That's not, no. No, we remember what you said, and we getting on your bumper about what you said.
what I was saying is, what is $5,000 if you ain't got no job? Because right now we are headed towards a recession. These were my exact words, and you don't have to believe me. Just Google the ABC live interview with me, and you will see that they intentionally stopped the recording right after I said, what is $5,000? Because they believed that people would not research and figure it out on their own. And sadly enough, like MAGA doing it is like one thing. To have a colleague send me a video of a black woman that is an educator and she's out here livid talking about this why she can't stand me. Man, we've never met a day in our lives. You ain't gotta like me, you ain't gotta love me, but at least get your facts together before you go out there. And honestly, if you still feel a way and you say I disagree with you, then you just disagree. Like, that's perfectly fine, but at least get your facts straight. Like, that's all I want this country to do, is start with a bottom line of facts. And so I was gonna do a video and this and that, but I'm a little busy. I'm a little freaking busy. And
So I was gonna do a video, but I'm a little busy. She said that as she's doing the video. What I mean, I'm telling you guys, y'all gotta be sober before y'all make these videos. You should have talked to your PR before you made these videos. You literally just said, as you are making the video, so I was gonna do a video, but I'm a little busy in the video. Okay, all right, Jasmine. All right, okay. Or she needs to sit down somewhere and then eat some breadsticks to sober up or something like that. Somebody give her a bottle of water, please. Okay. So she's not doing the video to explain. She's doing the video to explain that she's not going to do the video to explain what she was doing. Okay. I just want everybody to understand what she meant by that. Okay. I'm still trying to figure it out too, but I think that's what she meant.
Actually, it was how busy I was that really was getting to them, because I just happened to be a somewhat effective messenger. So the best thing that they could try to do is try to make me look like I'm not an effective messenger. Why would I go out on national TV knowing that people are hurting and just be like, no? And the other part of it is that.
But that is what you did, though. That's exactly what you did.
I knew that the same people that didn't vote for the $1,200, who now run the House, that they weren't going to put it on the floor. And guess what? The same day I was doing that interview, the Speaker of the House, the one that has to put bills on the floor, he actually said at CPAC, that's not happening. So I'm just telling y'all what I know. And you can, again, go into your own research if it's not too much for you. But you can do your research and figure out.
What the hell? Hold on, sorry, y'all. I don't know what just happened.
It was the Democrats.
Hold
and that
on,
was
let me
because
take that back.
who voted for the American Rescue Plan. And you can figure out who it was that controlled the House at that time. You can figure out who it was that voted on the Senate side. It was the Democrats, y'all. It was the Democrats. And that was because it was a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. And guess what? They were trying to save our economy. And guess what? They did save our economy.
Yeah, but guess what? The Democrats have been giving all this money out to foreign nations. While you sitting up there trying to give the Democrats all this praise above and beyond this crazy amount of praise and credit for a $12,000 stimulus check, as they've been sending billions of dollars overseas. So we supposed to sit up here and say we don't want Trump's $5,000 checks because we're grateful for the $1,200 checks that we got during the pandemic. What? Y'all trying to hang y'all hat on that $12,000 check thing. It ain't working, especially after all of the money that you guys have been exposed, that you guys have been sending overseas. It's not working. Y'all need to hang that up.
And guess what? This motherfucker is sending the shit literally into the shitter right now.
Oh, damn. Now she cursing. Oh, okay. All right.
Don't believe me? Look at the Dow. Look at private industry. Look at the fact that costs are going up, yet jobs are going down. That is a recipe for a recession. So no, it is not cute. It is not fun to sit up here and throw out some money. And in fact, what the speaker said was that would be good for our campaigns. Like legitimately, like literally, he just put it out there so that people, the only thing they'll remember, some people I guess, is that he said he was gonna give out $5,000, and it's a lie. It is a lie. Like everything else he does, lie. But if y'all want to believe the lies, then that's just on y'all. But I just wanted to make sure that I set the record straight, because for whatever reason, some people just cannot take it upon themselves to go on YouTube or go onto Google and figure out what I said, which that's what I said. So anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Get some rest. I'm going for a very, very late dinner because I've not eaten all day. So God bless y'all.
Oh, yeah, get something to eat. Get something to eat, get some rest, sober up, do what you got to do. Do whatever you need to do in order to get that alcohol out your system, to sober up. But what's interesting is that she made this long explaining. She was just explaining all over the place and talking about go on YouTube, as if we have not gone on YouTube and heard specifically what you guys are saying. And this is what the Democrats do. They don't take any accountability for what they said. They don't recant anything they said. They keep saying, oh, that's not what I meant. You guys haven't seen the full version of it. You guys didn't see what I said 20 seconds after what you guys heard. I said, no, people are not sitting up there saying, what would you do with $5,000 as the biggest thing? People are saying, you specifically, Jasmine, said, we are not in the business of handing out checks. That is exactly what she said. That is exactly why she's getting drugged. If she would have made the argument, people wouldn't have even drug her like this. If she would have made the argument that, I mean, $5,000 is okay, but it's not going to be enough if people lose their jobs. People would have been like, you know what? I guess she kind of has a point a little bit. Maybe, yeah. But she said something big before that we not in the business of giving y'all checks. And she sit up there as a central millionaire talking about we ain't in the business of handing y'all checks. Now, what's interesting too, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, do y'all remember what she said? She said about reparations, all her fights for reparations and her discussions for reparations. Do y'all remember that? I got this clip from, where is this from? Where did I get this from? The Karen Hunter show that she did. And we're going to play exactly how she feels about the reparations thing. Yeah, we're going to play that shit. Now, you brought up reparations, Jasmine, so you shouldn't have did that to yourself. But before we get that, let me get to Tell It Like It Is. Again, he sends another super chat, says, we headed towards a recession because too many of them can't keep their funky fingers out the cookie jar. Recession or not, she won't feel it. Yeah, she's going to be straight regardless. She's going to be okay regardless. But if we head into a recession, Trump literally just got in office. So any of the hard times that we face, at least for a little bit, is because of what Biden and Harris have been doing. Trump has only been in office for literally about a month. So we're going to have to wait a little bit of time in order to see the effects, whether it's good or bad, of his policies. Unless they're like the immediate executive order effects, is going to take a while for the economy to bounce back regardless. And if Harris was in office and we were going through the same thing, y'all would be all like, give her some time, give her some time. She just got in. Y'all got to be patient. Y'all got to give her some time. Y'all got to give her some time. That's what y'all would be saying. So what we're going through right now is still Biden's disaster, still Biden's mess. Now, she said something about reparations, didn't she? Y'all remember that? She did. So let's hear what she had to say about some reparations now. Because if she advocating for reparations, we got to give her credit. So, okay, what you got to say about reparations, Jasmine?
Yeah, okay, so a couple of things. I'll talk specifically about the Black folk and the concern. I think what we're seeing is that you're seeing the federal government, the state governments, the local governments that are visibly pouring money into the migrant crisis. And so Black folk are like, well, wait a minute now y'all ain't gave us no reparations. Y'all always like messing us up. We can't get none, but people that weren't born here, not to mention Black folk was dragged over here, but that's a whole other issue. Like we didn't immigrate, right? Like they brought us over here, like they captured us, they killed us, they raped us. So like Black people, like, I don't know, make it make sense to me, right? And it's because they can actually see the money. The problem is that the United States government is consistently giving out money that is for the benefit of Black folk specifically. So
when? She said the United States government is consistently giving out money that is for the benefit of Black folk. Jasmine, you were in this other video talking about we are not in the business of handing out checks. So what benefit are you talking about? The United States government we don't see it. See, this is the Democratic lie that they doing a whole lot of work and they benefiting us a whole bunch. They just have a problem communicating how great of a job, how grand of a job that they're doing. But they doing a lot and we getting paid a lot. The United States government is constantly giving out money. Okay, well, let's hear exactly what she has to say. because she always claims that we taking her clips out of context. So let's play the thing with the full context.
So I know as a member of the House, I have handed down so many checks, millions of dollars to my district on environmental injustice issues, right? Because we typically live in the areas where our
environmental justice issues. So these are our checks. So no, not reparations, but she's in the House handling and giving out checks to environmental justice issues. This is what we get. So she's talking about like air pollution and clean pipes and stuff. I guess that's cool. But you don't give the checks, you don't give air pollution or air filters out to immigrants. That's not what you do. You don't give air filters out to Ukraine. That's not what you do. You don't give water filters out to them. That's not what you do. Talk about environmental justice. You're not sitting up there helping Ukraine with environmental justice. You're not helping these immigrants with environmental justice. America owes us tangibles, and you're talking about I've been because there's a lot of pollution, air pollution, and because a lot of black people got asthma. So you know what I'm saying? We helping with the asthma. So they don't just appreciate that. Oh, really?
air, our water, our soil is contaminated because we have been a dumping ground for so long. And literally, we have homes that are killing us because when we walk outside, there's somebody that's polluting us. And so I am trying to do my part, but because you're not getting a check directly into your hand, or because it's not as well publicized, Black folk are like, we're not getting anything. And it's just not true.
That is true. Ain't nobody stupid. You're not gonna sit up there like, hey, y'all getting checks and y'all getting businesses and y'all getting grants and y'all getting all of this stuff, but we getting environmental justice, which is something that everybody's kind of getting, because you're not just doing this specifically for Black people. It's not like you're doing this specifically for Black people. Let them tell it environmental justice is specifically for Black people. We just not understanding because we quote unquote not getting checks. Well, you know what? How about you just give us the checks then? How about if we not satisfied with nothing else besides checks, how about you just do that? How about you just give us the checks? How about that?
That you're not getting anything. But also, I think what we're not doing a good thing about as far as like the conversation around it is we're not discussing that this is a matter of saving money, right? Like it can't be.
So now the government wants to save. Now, what's going on with Doge then? Y'all sending almost $1 million for a musical in Ireland. Y'all spending money, crazy money overseas for any and everything, and talk about, well, you know, we got to save money now. Why can I ask you guys a question, a very serious question? Why only when it comes to foundational Black Americans does the government, especially the Democratic Party, talk about, hey, we really ain't got it like that, man. We really trying to save a lot of money. Oh, what about Doge? Look, man, don't even worry about no Doge. Don't worry about Doge. Don't worry about none of that. Okay. We really trying to save money. We really, I swear to God, we really don't got it like that. If we did, I would give it to you if we got it like that, but we just don't get it like that. They only say that to us. These immigrants come over, they don't speak Spanish, they bringing up a bunch of crime, they bringing up a bunch of diseases, and they just signing blank checks and giving it to them. But for us, we get environmental justice. This is what we get. And we got to understand that this is what's in our best interest. Environmental justice.
So for instance,
it's talking about environmental justice. They still ain't fixed Flint, Michigan. Flint still don't got good water while they talking about environmental justice, but okay.
Since I just saw your head turn. So for instance, when we're trying to deal with whether or not we're going to send foreign aid out, Black people are like, why y'all sending money across the world? Y'all need to keep that money here. Not recognizing that our money and our dollar goes so much further somewhere else. If we were to send our money.
We not recognizing that our money and our dollar goes further somewhere else. What does that mean? What does that mean? Our money and our dollar goes further than somewhere else. What does that mean?
To Haiti or Honduras or anywhere, it would actually go so much further because the dollar is so strong. In addition to the fact that
but what? Hold on. No. You're not going to just skip over that. Our dollar and our money goes further somewhere else, like, because our dollar is so strong. What? Whoa. This is why the Democrats are not in charge now, because this is how they've been running stuff. She's literally justifying us spending millions of dollars, crazy bunch of money, while she just said a sentence ago, well, we're trying to save money. But you got to understand, our money goes further somewhere. What? But who does it benefit, though? It don't benefit us. It goes further somewhere else. Yeah, but they benefit the whole amount of it. How does that benefit us? What are you talking about? Okay. Oh, Lord. What? Okay. And this is her video advocating for reparations. Well, she says, y'all don't know my conversation of reparations. Oh, your drunk ass shouldn't have said that, because we looked it up, and this is what you had to say about reparations.
maybe we can stabilize those areas and keep those people from coming here, because by the time they come here, it is going to cost us more money. But even when we're...
It's not going to cost you more money if you don't let them in. It would only cost you money if you let them in. You're not going to cost no money if you don't let these folk in, which is what you guys do. It is going to cost us a lot of money. What? Close the gates, close the border, close the door. Y'all so anti-deportation, but it costs y'all so much money. Why don't you stop letting them in? How about that?
Spending the money, what we need people to understand is that we've been on a birth decline for a minute in the United States. And so if we're going to keep this economy going, immigration actually helps us out. But it's not a matter of these people coming over and laying up. We need to make sure that they're working and they're paying taxes.
Whoa, okay. We've been on a quote unquote birth decline in America. Who is the we? Because there's a group of people who are on a birth decline, but there's us as foundational Black Americans. We good. We ain't on no birth decline where we need immigrants. You see how all over the place she is? She just said that it's expensive to keep immigrants. It's expensive to have them come over here, but we're on a birth decline and we need them to come over here in order to keep the economy going. So we're helping. What? Okay. Let me break down what she just said. So we got to understand that there's a lot of checks for us, and we just don't see it because it's for environmental justice, okay? Which is what we need. We don't need no checks like everybody else get checks. We don't need no tangibles like everybody else get tangibles. What we need is environmental justice. That's what we need, okay? So she's cutting the check for environmental justice, but we also got to understand that we got to save money, but our money goes further overseas, and we got to help them so they don't come over here. But because it's expensive, but we need them to come over here because we're not having babies. Even though you guys are all about abortion, you guys promote abortion as healthcare, but we're not having babies. So we need the expensive immigrants that you guys don't want to come over here so we can keep America going. Is she drunk again? She didn't seem drunk this time, but Jasmine, are you drunk again? Yo, does Jasmine have a alcohol problem? Does Jasmine Crockett have? I don't know. I'm kind of concerned at this point. Does Jasmine Crockett have an alcohol problem? Is she drunk during this interview? What is going on? I don't know what to believe at this point. She has just completely confused me, as if she had multiple personalities. She has so many damn different talking points. There's so many things she was for and against in the same sentence. I don't know what to say. All I know is that ain't none of that reparations. But this is what Black people need to understand as far as why we not getting reparations. This is what we need to understand. This is what we need to understand. This is why Jasmine is getting drugged all throughout the internet. This is why. This is why nobody backs Jasmine Crockett. This is why Jasmine is getting drugged, because of what she's sitting up there promoting from the Democratic Party. What are you talking about? We have a birth decline, so we need immigrants, but immigrants are expensive over here, so we don't want to spend money on them coming over here. So we want to essentially pay for their country, you know, but we are spending a lot of money on environmental justice for foundational Black Americans, and we need to be grateful with that. What does that mean? Okay. What is that? Okay. All right. But you know, a lot of people had a lot of things to say about Jasmine. And a lot of people been roasting Jasmine, and it's all been rightfully so. And it would be remiss. I would be remiss if I just honestly didn't allow the family to get in on this roast. I want to know what you guys got to say about this situation. I really do. What do you guys think about this? I mean, come on. If they got to roast, I just feel like I should provide you guys the opportunity to get on this. So what I'm going to do is I've opened up the phone line so you guys can call in right now, and y'all let me know what y'all think about the community dragging bad wig Jasmine Crockett, the millionaire Jasmine Crockett, as she's sitting up there telling foundational Black Americans that the American government is in the business of giving out checks to any and everybody except us. But they'll take, it's not even checks the American government is just giving. It's our money that's being returned. We're not in the business of giving our money back. The American government is not in the business of giving our money back. She's here, she's there. Okay, so we're trying to save money, but we're trying to spend money, but we're trying to save the environment, but we're trying to not allow immigrants to come over here, but we need immigrants to come over here because we need them to work. Like, what is going on? Can somebody please call in and explain to me, brothers and sisters, what is going on? Because I can't tell. I don't know. I just don't. I don't get it. I need y'all help. I really do. I need y'all help. Let me get this. Caller from area code. Hold on. Let me make sure everything is everything. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Sister, give me 1 second. I want to make sure you can be heard. Okay, you can be heard. Caller from, I think I know who this is. Caller from area code 304. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Afro. This is Miss Niecy.
Miss Niecy, how you doing?
I hear an echo.
You hear
Afro, I'm hearing an echo.
Okay. You guys can hear her, right?
My speaker is off. I'm talking from my phone.
Can you guys hear her? Hold on for 1 second. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you fine. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but you just go, okay? As long as I can hear you.
When I first started talking, I heard an echo.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
Well,
but
anyway, I'm gonna make it quick. This is Miss Niecy, Charleston, West Virginia. This is my opinion. Ratchet Crockett is about herself. It ain't about the people. She babbles so much. Everything I heard this evening, she don't even know what the hell she's talking about.
Yeah.
But one thing that is crystal clear, she is not FBA. Not the way she talking.
Mm.
And the more she keeps talking, she don't realize she's hanging her own self and her wig out to dry.
Yeah, she's putting both her feet in her mouth. She putting 100% both
well,
her feet in her mouth.
Good. But I tell you this Afro, I ain't got no more words, baby. I'm gonna go back into the chat.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you, sister. I appreciate
You're welcome.
you. I really, really do. I thank you so very much.
You're very welcome.
All right. Well, we're going to get to the next caller. A lot of people in the chat room have been saying or asking, is Jasmine Crockett FBA? I don't know that she's not FBA. And you all know my thing. I do not say somebody isn't unless I know. So if somebody knows, then they might know. But as of right now, I will make a statement for myself that I'm not saying whether she is or isn't. From what I've researched, and I have looked into it, she is, from what I've researched, okay, of her lineage. I'm not verifying or denying anything, okay? But other people might have some information I don't have. But I'm speaking for myself with this, all right? Because we got it, I'm speaking for myself. Caller from
what's going on, bro? Lee?
Yeah, what's going on, brother? Caller from area code 323. What's on your mind? What's
Yes,
your
sir.
name?
Yes, sir.
From, first
My name's Eric. Hey, I was listening to you, bro, and I like how you basically picked apart what she was saying. First, she said that America's birth rates are at an all-time low, and then you pointed out that, okay, well, then why are you pushing abortion then? I mean, like that was right on. Like, you can't complain that we need these undocumented aliens because our birth rates are low, but you're encouraging this abortion agenda. You're just an oxymoron. I mean, overall, bro, I like how you break things down. I like how you analyze things. To me, you're like a young Tariq coming up, and I know you want your own identity. I know you want your own, you're your own man, but it's like you're the next generation of the Tariq, basically. The way you go about, tackling issues and exposing stuff, bro. Take care, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. And shout out to Tariq. I appreciate that. Thank you. We're going to get to it because we got a lot of people got a lot of stuff to say. So we're going to get to the next caller. Caller from area code 949. You're on live. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's up, brother? What's up, brother Afro Elite? This is Herman calling from Westminster. Yeah, okay, we need to check Jasmine Crockett's paperwork and do an analysis on that wig of hers. Yeah, she's talking, out the side of her dick, making sense, and bringing up all those real bad faith talking points, just not making a lot of sense. I'm hoping that her constituency votes her out of office as soon as possible, as soon as the next election cycle comes up. So that's basically it. She's making these piss poor arguments about Congress not being in the business of giving out money, and we all know where all the money is going to. It's going everywhere else except to, say, Americans, and specifically Black Americans. She has a piss poor record on reparations. Her position on reparations is pretty much that of the Black Caucus in California. We just need to get rid of these people. We need to get rid of these so-called immigrants / fake Black Americans or fake tethers that pretty much want to erase us as a people. So that's kind of like my position on it, brother. Just vote them out of office when they say stupid stuff like that.
Hey, I fully agree. They're trying to have Jasmine be and this is something that happens all the time with the Democratic Party. They want like the person the camera person, the show person, the main attraction. So every so often they'll have like, before they had like the AOC, and they had AOC all over the place, AOC doing interviews, AOC, and they really promoted AOC, and her hype died down because she was just saying a whole bunch of nonsense and stuff. Like AOC was saying a bunch of nonsense. Then they'll have like, and they like to have a female be that, okay? They like to have this
Right.
boss chick, but it never works. And now Jasmine, she's supposed to be next in line for the boss chicks who quote unquote tell it like it is and all that stuff. But she's so incoherent. First off, most people don't agree with her stances on anything, and she cannot elaborate. She can't explain. She sounds ridiculous. She does. She sounds ridiculous.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. So that's the thing. We're going to have to start, say, doing research to hurry up to early identify these people that don't represent, a Black agenda, a Black American agenda. We're just going to have to get them out of office. That's the only solution. That's the only way I can see that we resolve this, because, they're going to continue to advocate for causes other than foundational Black American causes. I'm glad that I'm glad that foundational Black Americans we are, say, finding our power. We're rediscovering, say, our heritage. We're rediscovering our power, and we're developing some autonomy, some independent autonomy to think and do and be progressive as a people. And this is great. This is a win for us, basically tapping into our heritage people. And it's going to be all right. And we're going to prevail, and we're going to get those reparations sooner than we think. Peace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. 100%. Absolutely. Thank you, brother. I appreciate your call.
Peace.
All right, we're going to get to the next caller. That's very true. We just got to keep the pressure on them. We just got to keep the pressure. I do want to give a shout out to the Cash App, the people who supported through Cash App. Shout out to Antithesis, and then shout out to Dumas. I appreciate y'all Cash App support. I really do, sincerely. I'm going to get to the super chats in a little bit, but let's get to the next caller, because we got a bunch of people got stuff to say. Caller from area code 719. What's your name and where you calling from?
Tell it like it is, calling out of California.
Brother, tell it like it is. Tell it like it is, brother. Tell it like it is.
And I had to call in and weigh in on this one. Man, let me tell you, it's plain and simple. She mammy-splaining. And she mammy-splaining with a sister girl attitude. That's all that is. It's like, she mammy-splaining with a side of hot sauce. That's all she doing right now. And those interviews that she did, when she was talking about reparations, talking about this, talking about that, I hope the people in her district, whoever voted her in, I hope y'all are paying close attention to what's going on and what she was saying. Because when you was breaking down everything that she was saying, I was right there with you the whole time. And I heard, and I was able to pick it apart, just like the way you was. In my head, I'm thinking like, she's saying one thing, but then she turning around and she doing a 180 and saying something completely different.
Yep. And
now my head hurt. I need an aspirin the size of a hockey puck, like Martin said on the damn Bad Boys movie. Yep. Dude, I hope the people in her district are paying the close attention to this, because she putting nails in her own coffin, and I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, man, brother. Every time she says something, man, she just doubles down. Like the video she made talking about the government ain't in the business of giving out checks, and then she made a response video and only made the situation worse for herself. Even her trying to correct it only makes it worse for herself. Like she'll nail a nail in the coffin and then follow it up with another nail. That's what she does.
Yeah, she's pissing in her own Cheerios. And now, you know what? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the wig messing with her head. Her scalp is itchy. I don't know what the deal is. But whatever these people, I mean, they've been just so enamored with lying to us while trying to bury us, but then they need us again. But then it's like they try to take us out of their little toy box only when they want amusement, and then put us back in the toy box when they feel like they don't want to play with us no more. But then now you got Trump in office. You know what I'm saying? It's like we the toy that they don't want to play with, and then but they don't want to see nobody else play with the toy. They don't want to see nobody else with it. So now Trump is in office. And he's talking about, okay, well, I'm gonna take some of this money that y'all been pissing off, and I'm gonna give it back to the American people. 5,000 may not be enough, but it's more than what we got now. So I mean, what do you care about whether we get $5,000? You should be cheering that on and trying to figure out how to give us more. But no, you too busy trying to sit on your money. You know, you sitting up here. How is you worth $9 million? You ain't. You know what I'm saying? First of all, she ain't that sophisticated to be able to. You know what I'm saying? I smell Yezebub. That's what I smell.
That's true. And like the other caller, not the other caller, the other guy in the video, remember he was saying, like, when you're in Congress, you can set legislation that helps out a certain corporation or a certain stock or whatever. Like you can set certain legislation that helps out Amazon or that helps out UPS or that helps out Windows or something like that. So if you know, like, hey, this legislation, Amazon stock is about to go up, let me put some money into the Amazon stock. I sign this legislation, Amazon stock go up, I get all of the benefits from that. So yeah, that's kind of unethical when you really think about it.
Yeah, it's insider trading. That's what that is. That's insider trading, and it's a scam. And they should be, and all of them should be locked up for doing that shit. And I ain't talking about putting them in front of Congress and giving some smoke dog and pony show. Nah, take their ass out in cuffs, because that's some bullshit. Because if that was one of us doing that, they'd be locking our asses up right now. So yeah, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Y'all make laws. How y'all gonna make laws and y'all gonna tie the public's hand behind our backs? Well, okay, you wanna, you know what I'm saying? We in the fight, but you get your hands free and our hands are tied behind our backs. We got all kinds of rules and regulations we gotta follow, but y'all can do what y'all wanna do. Lock these uppity motherfuckers up. Lock their asses up. And I'll land there.
Yep, I agree. Thank you, brother. I 100% agree with that. I fully agree with that. Thank you. You have a good one. Appreciate your support. I couldn't have said it better. Caller from area code 747. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, it's Shay, and I'm calling from LA. Yeah, thank you for having me on.
No problem, brother. What's on your mind?
All right, so it was good that you actually played that clip because it's so crazy. It's like no other race have their politicians talking about they don't need money, they need ceiling fans and air filters and shit. Like no other race does this, and every other race, no other race will get out there. No Hispanic, no Jews, no white people, no Asians will get out there and say, hey, we should be doing this for this group of people that's not like with them. But see, she might not be from somewhere else. Maybe her lineage is from America, right? And maybe she's descending of slaves and things like that, but she's still an agent. You still had agents on the plantation and things like that. And those are the only ones that get to move up in power like that. And really, just like you were saying, they trying to make either her or AOC the next Nancy Pelosi and keep pushing that agenda the same way. And they got Nancy Pelosi caught up in some insider trading. That's why they got Jasmine Crockett out here talking and all that. Man, it's hot garbage. And
That's
also, you had talked about the birth rate, and they saying we need immigrants. How about instead of promoting and giving all this money to abortion clinics and everything else, how about you give that money to American citizens to help them raise, educate, and train their children to be the next generation of the workforce? Wouldn't that be then just giving it to people who just gonna come in here, sit up in New York and eat strawberry cheesecake and, sit up in 5-star hotels and say this food isn't culturally fitting for them? You know what I'm saying? How about they start some programs like that? We start giving back to ourselves, and thank you, man. That's it. I'm gonna let somebody else jump on. You got an awesome show going, brother.
Thank you, brother. And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, y'all, let's be honest. They spend a whole bunch of money. Kamala literally ran her entire campaign off of abortion. That was the number one thing she was talking about. Okay, abortion being a healthcare issue, a healthcare right. It was a right. They literally framed a woman terminating her pregnancy as a human right. That's exactly what they were doing. And then on the other hand, they say we need immigrants because we have a low birth rate. Okay. That's literally how they get down, for real. But yeah, that's a good point. Next caller from area code 951. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My good brother. This is the Church of Black Power calling out of Houston by way of California.
What's on your mind, brother?
My brother, if it's okay with you, I got 7 quick points that I want to just drop real quick. It'll be very fast. I'm not going to hold you up too much. But if you want to jump in between any of these, please do so, okay? So the first point is the birth rate situation, which you broke down masterfully. I also want to add that there is no scientific evidence that shows that Black people nor Mexican people are declining in birth rates. Actually, the birth rate information shows the opposite. So you do your own research on that. Now, the second thing, Jasmine Crockett is not even from Dallas. She's from St. Louis. So yeah, she's from St. Louis. So when we're asking about her family and stuff like that, when we're trying to do the research, one of the things like Tariq then spoke about several times over, these people have been scrubbing the internet of their family history because they don't want people to be able to point them out and call them out on them not being Black American. And so Jasmine Crockett has said in several interviews, she likes to keep her family life private.
Mm-hmm.
However, I did some research and I came upon the research of her family. Her father's name is Dr. Reverend Joseph Crockett. Her mother, I don't remember her name, but she worked for the Fed. She worked for the USPS Postal Service for years, decades, right? So both of her parents, and at one point her father actually worked for the federal government as well. Now, with that situation and her moving to Dallas, that was just for her to basically kind of move somewhere that nobody knew them. And so she would be able to, garner the type of votes that she needed because her family is well known apparently out in St. Louis. Now, I'm not saying that she's SBA. I'm just saying that people know who her family is out there. And apparently they wouldn't have wanted to vote for her.
Okay.
That's just the fact. Another interesting situation here is that I found out that her husband that she married actually took her name. He didn't give her his name. He took on the Crockett name, something like Jay-Z did when he was trying to, benefit from the Beyonce Knowles family and all that other stuff. And which that tells me that her father, who, Dr. Reverend Joseph Crockett, he was a part of the Boule. And that goes to my next point. Jasmine Crockett did not grow up in Black society. She grew up in the suburbs. So she grew up around white women. She grew up around white men. So all that sister girling and the neck twirling and all that nonsense, you wouldn't have seen that before she got put into office. If you go and look at some of her interviews before she came into office with, less of the wig situation and less of the snuffleupagus eyelashes, you would hear who she really is, because she don't have any of that neck curling, any of that sassy black girl routine. None of that even applies in her earlier interviews. So I suggest everyone go and look at that. When she was speaking about reparations, the reparations situation, when I heard that, I was like, well, what did you say about reparations? Because I've never heard her speak about reparations. But now, after hearing what she said, all that was a drunken, driven response, just like you alluded to. There was literally no reason for her to bring up that situation of how she spoke on reparations, when how she spoke on reparations was literally damn near against reparations.
Really?
We can give it to everybody else. Give it to you. If we give it to you, it's not going to go as far as if we give it to everyone else outside of this country. And you said something that literally just shut all that down. Well, why even let them in the country? Keep them out of the country. You won't have to pay for any deportations or anything like that if you think it's going to be cheaper to, just give them the money. No, it'll be cheaper just to keep them outside of the country regardless of the fact. Why are we responsible as foundational Black Americans for everybody else's poverty when we still go through our own poverty? I don't get that. And then our brother, tell it like it is, to him, like he said, it's all just mammy-splaining. Every single thing that she's doing is literally, every time they give her the spotlight, she's coming out tap dancing and looking at the white men like, who's back? Can I get in next? Even though she's married. Because that's how bandwinches work. It don't matter who you married to, you're going to always bow down to the people in your party, or, the people that don't look like you, in order to get things done for yourself. And that is a big, big problem. But lastly, and I'll land with this, she said that she was a business major. Well, Jasmine Crockett, I'm a political science major. So from that, and within the next year, I'll be attending law school at TSU or whatnot. My whole thing is this: as a political science major to a business major, I'm going to tell you that you're full of stuff. You're so full of stuff, because everything that she's doing goes against what a representative should be doing when you talk about political science. Political science in itself, anybody who's taken that course, who's taken that class, who's taken the 4 years in order to get that degree, will tell you what politics is. And our great, great, great master teacher, Dr. Claude Anderson, told us this a long time ago. Politics ain't nothing but a fight for resources. And anybody who is trying to move away from the fight for resources to do a fight for anybody else, they are the enemy of your people. And with that, my brother Afro Elite, my great brother, I appreciate you having me up, and I'll land with that, family. B1.
B1, brother. Thank you very much. I mean, that brother, he was spitting, wasn't he? Shout out to him. He was spitting straight facts, straight up facts with that. But I don't want to keep too many of the callers waiting, so we're gonna get to the next caller. Caller from area code 725. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, brother Afro Elite? It's Preston calling out of Las Vegas, man.
What's on your mind, brother?
You doing all right this evening?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You know what, man? You know what? I wasn't gonna call up this evening, man. I was really about to let it rest, man. But old Crooked Wig Crockett and brought herself up on here in these internet streets talking about she finna set the record straight. Man, can you please set that wig straight before you come out here and start talking to the people? Now, one thing that I heard her say that I thought was very interesting, man. She brought up those birth rates. And I was just sitting there thinking to myself, now I know she's not talking about me or you. This certainly isn't a Black problem. And I would assume this is a palm-colored people problem, because they're the one that's putting you out here on this stage talking about these issues. And another thing, man, was really just out here grinding my gears, man. These Democrats been out here throwing money like they at the strip club. They getting A-Rap money. They throwing it around left and right, man. And they come and they fix their lip, man. These shiftless, trifling, trollops. Bring their ass out here, excuse me for cursing, bring their ass out here and march this woman in front of us as if she speaks for us. Mm-hmm. Who are these people? Where do they come from? And how do we deal with them? And with that, I land my plane.
Thank you. I appreciate you, but hey, that's 100% true. 100% true. I'm going to address something that that was said before. Jasmine, if she grew up in a boule, if your parents are in the boule, all of this neck jerking and the sister girl character, in which I knew it was a character, all of that stuff is a character and a role that you're supposed to play. I can tell is not genuine. I really can tell it's not genuine because it just comes off too forced sometimes. It comes off unnatural. Because let me tell you something. Women, black women, who are like, they grew up in the hood, they grew up in the ghetto and everything like that. They don't try to portray themselves like that in certain settings. They try to clean it up. Okay? Sometimes it might slip out. See, women from the hood, they don't try to act like that all the time. They know they're not supposed to act like that when they in Congress or during the interview. Even if they do slip up sometimes, they try to act very, demure and all that stuff. Jasmine consistently keeps this attitude, especially when the cameras are on. So that's one of the telltale signs that I'm all like, nah, this is an act. No, this is a role that you're trying to portray. I could tell. Because it's coming off too forced. Caller from area code 302. You're online. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Afro Elite. This is Nurse Shay calling from Wilmington, Delaware.
You said this is who?
Nurse Shay.
Oh, what's on your mind, sister?
I'm thinking the same thing that you said. Like, I noticed she was wearing a hoodie that said child. If I'm going to call you child, I'm not fixing to wear a hoodie explaining the definition of it. That's number one. If you don't know what it means, then you go look it up. I'm not fixing to explain it to you. But I also tried to do a paperwork check on her. And one thing, her husband is real shady. Like, they mention his name, but they don't give a background of where he came from, his parents' names, or anything like that. And as far as she's concerned, we're going to have to be careful when we do paperwork check because, like the previous caller said, they know that we are checking up on these people and we're trying to find out where they came from in their background. And they're trying to circumvent that. And I noticed that too when I tried to do a paperwork check of Gabrielle Union. Her paperwork is real shady. So I just want to put that out there, to the family when we're trying to see where these people came from. They're trying to hide that information. But whenever you talk against reparations, in my opinion, you're anti-FBA anyway. So I really don't have to go no further than that. Once you start speaking against reparations, we're not on the same team.
All right, I fully agree with that. I fully agree. There's a lot of funny stuff, especially with the husband. If the husband, and one of the things that get me is rarely do husbands take the last name of their wife. Rarely does that happen, especially in America. So it comes off to me that either you're trying to ride your wife's coattail because she has a bigger name, but then it's kind of odd because you're not trying to be publicly out there. So why would you want to change your last name unless you have a very obvious foreign last name and you don't want people to find out your name and then find out that she married a tether and then make people kind of really do more digging. So that's kind of what that is sending me, where that's sending me.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's a lot of mysterious, hiding. She's over embellishing on the whole black girl thing. Like she's way over the top, too much sass. But nice to meet you. Nice to chat with you for a couple of seconds, and thank you for all that you do. And I'll land my plane there.
Well, thank you very much for calling. I appreciate your support. 100% correct. You have a good one.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Right, that's one. Yeah. All of them, they got a lot of them. I get you wanna, if you, especially you're going to be in Congress and you're going to be outspoken or whatever. I understand that you would want to hide your family. I understand that you probably don't want your niece in the camera. I can understand that to a degree. But then, like, when the stuff ain't really adding up, when you were originally not from Dallas, you know what I'm saying? But you rep Dallas, you don't really rep where you really was from. Like, it kind of make people start to side eye you a little bit. Now, caller from area code 424. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Afro? This is Dominique from Long Beach, California. I'm social media superhero in the chat. And I just want to say, first of all, thank you very much for what you do for us, man. I love that, And
thank you.
A few words about Miss Jasmine Janky Lace Front Crockett. Well, first of all, this should be very instructive for us because we have to stop kind of thinking that if people are FBA, that they're going to naturally feel a certain way and ride with us. We have to realize we're in a whole different time. And these people, they get corrupted real early. And I wouldn't be surprised if she was kind of raised in the boule and she was put out here just for that purpose, to fool us. Because they probably been raising her since she was in grade school, to tell you the truth, to do this exact same thing. So to put some of this simply, family, she's a traitor, is what she is. If she is FBA, she's a traitor. And she's put out here to do exactly what she's doing. She's obviously bought off and paid for by the Democrats. She's a Democrat shield, and she's an actress. She's completely acting with what she's doing, right? So this should be very instructive to us. We have to be careful of these people. She is our enemy, and she's out here actively working against us. So she's just a cautionary tale. And so what needs to be done? Okay, so we need to start, first of all, vetting these people when we even hear about these people, man, and just see what's going on with them. And I think you're right about her husband. Something suspicious about that. Something's very suspicious about that. No disrespect to the ladies, and I love my FBA sisters, but no self-respecting man really is gonna take the name of his wife. A lot of times guys are not really insistent on the fact that the woman take his name. My wife, she uses her own name simply because it was easier. She didn't have to go change her license and all this other stuff, and she just left it that way. But a guy may not insist that you take his name, but when a man goes and takes his wife's name, there's something suspicious about that, her last name, So
yeah.
I think we need to look more into that, and I'll be waiting to hear what people come up with on that. I'm gonna look into it myself too. So what we need to do with Miss Crockett, we need to put her in an Uber along with her Big Lots bargain bin wigs she likes to wear, and send her down to Mexico with the people that she really works for and cares about. That's what we need to do. And with that, young brother, I'm going to land.
Well, thank you. Now, I fully agree. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate your support.
Yeah, man.
And
Have a good night.
first, and before we get to the next call, yeah, he makes a good couple points. The thing is that what he said at first is that we can't just assume that and this is a mistake, and I want us to say this because I don't want us to make this mistake, because what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, all we got to do is have somebody who can verify that they're a FBA, and then they're going to get support. We can't just support anybody if they're non-FBA, or even if they are FBA. We got to be suspicious of everybody in Congress. We got to be suspicious of everybody running in politics, because we do have Jesse Jacksons out here. We do have Al Sharptons out here. We do have Jim Clyburns out here. We do have those folks out there. So we can't just say that, well, if we don't like you, then you're probably not from the lineage, because what they'll do is they'll look at it and be all like, oh, so all we got to do is get an FBA one of y'all, and y'all gonna turn the blind eye to it. We can't turn a blind eye to nobody. We got to be suspicious of anybody and everybody. All right. So we do just got to make sure we don't fall into that mistake. Now let me get the next caller from area code 913 on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Because hostility, you know what I'm saying, at first. So that's how I come into the situation. When you come into the
hey,
hold on. The guy was gone down in my so I'm like, look at you getting your face. I'm just waiting for you to get, because now I'm not going to respond. Better make sure motherfucker ain't.
Do you know you on the phone? Brother.
Hello?
Yeah, you've been on the phone.
Oh, brother, you called down 130?
Yeah, this is 913.
Hey, bro, you just called. It's 913, my bad, bro. Shout out to the family B1, you know what I'm saying? But you just called. I mean, y'all, that's how the universe works. My bad, family. I apologize, but this is just a gathering of the, you know what I'm saying, of the minds, you know what I'm saying, in my own plan. But yeah, just to piggyback off what the brother was saying about Jasmine Crockett, what I've come to find out, family.
Brother, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Kansas City. My name is I'm Chief Jonesy out here. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm calling from Kansas City, you know what I'm saying, Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs. But you know what I'm saying, I understand when you the Chiefs in the Matrix, but you an Indian in real life, your fans hit different. So I'll just lay it on the family for folks to ponder on that. But going forward, what I understand about these talking heads, especially the ones that look like us, that, you know what I'm saying, black looking folks, all we have to do is just open secrets. Look up their funding. Look up their super PACs. Look up their contributors, because that's who they're talking for. When they're talking against us, it's probably the people that are supplementing their congressional salary of no more than $220,000 a year. So when they're getting overwhelming donations and contributions from these certain entities that's at work in the background that we just, you know what I'm saying, see coming out in the news and shit. Family, I'm sorry, but just check that out, because like Jasmine Crockett, she's funded. So when the brother said something about her daddy being Boule, she's Divine Nine. So, you know what I'm saying, these are also the Tyrones of society, like us on the outside, us Pharaoh, American Indian, original, you know what I'm saying, FBA type. That's how we can expose them, because them are the only ones that's talking, is the ones that's getting that money put in their back. Family. So Jasmine Crockett, talking head. Where I live, Emmanuel Cleaver, talking head, funded, all of them. But as far as the congressional, that's how we can start sifting out everybody is who are you funded by, because that's who you're talking for. Representative, Congressman, Congresswoman.
That's true. You got to follow the money.
I mean, because I looked it up on open source just to bring the secrets for the ones that want to come back on the replay. Like, I don't have receipts. I've actually looked it up on opensecrets.com, and most of our top contributors are from the Association of Realtors, Dealers, election of women, $10,000. The Texas Farm Bureau, $9,000. The AME Church, $8,950. Dell Technologies. Like, what do these people and what are their aspirations? You know what I'm saying? But this is how they supplement their income. Because once the campaign is over, they can pocket all of those campaign donations to speak on behalf of these people once they get into certain positions and on certain judiciaries and on certain committees. Yeah. So yeah, Jasmine Crockett, that Jasmine Crockett.
Yep.
But I can land my plan right now.
Thank you, brother. That's true. Y'all got to follow the money. Family, can we please make sure that we're ready to speak? Okay, because I can pull your number up anytime. Can we please make sure that we are on the phones, paying attention, ready to speak? Let's be ready to go. Everybody else in the chat room or everybody else in the call queue, let's be ready to go. All right, let's go. But I ain't no all the respect to him, but let's be ready to go, family. Caller from area code 323. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
How you doing, Afro? I watch your show a lot. This is Jay on the chat, and I'm calling from Compton, California.
What's on your mind, brother?
Basically, I want to break it down, and it all goes back to white male self-esteem. All these politicians that are supposed to be representing us, they don't want to mess up the white male self-esteem. Like Francis Krauss Welsing talks about, they are an alienated group, and anybody that messes up with their self-esteem, they're not going to do anything to empower us. White people get their self-esteem off of us being at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get anything from our politicians, that's going to mess with the white male self-esteem, and that's going to cut off the money to our politicians. Bottom line. So that's the reason why they didn't like the halftime show. That's the reason why they're trying to get all these immigrants in here. The Democrats have one plan to get rid of us, and the Republicans have another one. The Democrats' plan is to get all these immigrants in here to flood us out and to make sure they take all the jobs and they get all the top positions and they continue white supremacy. And they have to make a pact with white people that they won't mess with their self-esteem. Everything is about keeping the white male self-esteem high because let's be real. They live on an earth where the sun does not protect them. They have recessive genes. They are a minority on the world population. They're only 77%. So everything is about making sure that the white male has his self-esteem intact. And I'll land my plane.
That's true. That's why the whole what did she just say about the birth rates? The whole thing with the birth rates. Who really has a problem with the birth rates? America really don't have no problem. Not nearly to the degree where you guys need to allow millions of immigrants to come over here. No, America don't got that problem. Because in order for America to have the problem where you guys need millions of people to come over from another country is that everybody would have to have a birth rate issue, and everybody don't have a birth rate issue.
Right.
So
and they keep these Democrats these immigrants, they make sure that they pay the price to get above us, and that price is to make sure that they get on code and keep the white male self-esteem high. And that means coming into this country and denigrating FBA.
Yep. You correct, brother.
Thank you for your time, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right. It's a brother from Compton. Shout out to Compton. Caller from area code. Caller from area code 313. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Brother Clyde Shabazz from Detroit, Michigan, home of the Honorable Malik El Haj Shabazz, following in his footsteps. How are you tonight, young Captain Minister of Code?
I'm good, brother. I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Oh, I'm great as well. Just tuned in and caught you live, and I wanted to chime in. Man, your audience is so super intelligent, from the sisters to the brothers, from the East Coast, from the West Coast, and down to the South. And I just wanted to chime in. Young brother Afro Elite, I ran originally way back in 2008 against the original author of HR 40. That would be Mr. John Conyers, the late John Conyers, who was actually one of the founders of the Congressional Black Caucus, who I call him that in honor of the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad, because he coined that term for them because he saw then that they were just a bought-off organization that works against the interests of foundational Black Americans. And in 2008, young brother, when I ran against him, I ran on the issue of him using HR 40 as a re-election tool way back then. And I ran because I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I am a Black 25-year member of the Green Party, a Black independent, because I saw this dynamic going on way back then. Here we are coming up in 2028 will be upon us, and we'll be going through another election. And what I wanted to share with you and your listening audience is that I see a paradigm shift going on right now, young Afro Elite, where even though 92% of Black women voted Democrat, 77% of Black men voted Democrat, 20% of Black men voted for Trump, and about 8% of Black women voted for Trump. I still see an opening for a paradigm shift to where I see an opportunity for the Black independent to garner votes from both sides to say, hey, we have already a plan for foundational Black Americans to come over here, which is what ancestor Malcolm X instructed us to do way back in the 60s. If you'll go back and listen to his famous speech right here in Detroit, The Ballad or the Bullet, he instructed us to register and vote independent because he understood that the Republicans were the wolf and that the Democrats were the fox. The conservative wolf are the Republicans who just want to eat you and devour you and just tell you to your face, we don't care about you. And then we know how the liberal plays the game in their sock puppets, like who we're talking about tonight, the Congressional Black Talkers and the the Divine Nines, the NACP, Urban League. I've gone up against all of these folks throughout my 40 years of activism, young brother. Okay. I ran this last time, as a matter of fact, against a longtime white Democrat, Debbie Dingell, because I saw the same thing. I've actually run for Congress 3 times, and I'm contemplating running for president for Green in 2008. And on my lineage-based foundational Black American reparations tax plan, I would take the tack of instituting a sin tax against the New York Stock Exchange specifically, because one, that's a pool of money that we can get. If we were to charge every corporation $250 and every individual a $25 transaction tax. Last year, there was 40 million transactions of buy and sell on the New York Stock Exchange. If that tax were implemented on them, that would generate literally $4 trillion a year. And I go off the Darity plan, Professor Darity, where he calculated the cash debt to be about $20 trillion. And under my plan, if I were to tax them as president, I would implement by executive order, bypassing the Congress, similar to how Lincoln implemented the Emancipation Proclamation. That way you don't have to deal with like what Trump is doing. You don't have to deal with the Congress, okay? And then that way we could implement it, a reparations tax on Wall Street. And those people were also the ones responsible, from the agriculture to the insurance, to the banking, the railroad industries. And those corporations are still around today. And I've been out here in the streets and online trying to reach younger people like yourself to get this message out, because this is something that I think going into 2028 with that energy that we can really begin to push like we did this year and forcing Kamala Harris and the Democrats to lose, that would be an avenue for us to get our past reparations. And in addition to that, there's an esteemed friend of mine who's a retired 40-year judge. Her name is Judge Brenda Sanders. You can look us both up. We both ran as Greens, okay? Our stuff is still up on our Green Party platform. But she's a retired judge who left the Democratic Party because they were playing political games with her. She actually drafted a federal anti-Black hate crimes bill, but her bill is real stringent. It would only give or prosecute police and not give them immunity. It also covers prosecutors, judges, including the federal intelligence agencies like the FBI and the CIA, because we know historically Blacks have been overly policed, overly prosecuted and overly judged and overly harassed and watched from these spook agencies. And we have to go to the root of the problem, and that's something that we've been wanting to put out there. Anybody wants, again, to look me up, go to Clyde Shabazz and look me up on YouTube at In the Green TV. You can check me out. But I just wanted to share this great bit of information with you because you have that young energy, and a lot of the younger people that are out there are putting these awesome ideas out there. And I just want the national FBA family to know that we do have proposals and things that then there are activists out here, long-time activists. I'm in my 60s, and I've never had any affinity for the Democrats or the Republicans. And I'm very much down with the young people. And quite frankly, I think these old ninjas are part of the reason why we're in the position we're in today, because it starts with a lot of them. I land my plane there. I wish you the best, and to the B1 family, much love. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your call, brother. Much respect.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, then. Okay. All righty, then. Caller from area code 414. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Charlotte. I'm calling from Florida, via Wisconsin. I want to speak on Jasmine Crockett. Obviously, she's not a FBA. I seen an episode on Vicky Diller one time when she had a tape of Schumer. I don't know his title and everything, but Schumer, he said the exact words that she said tonight on your broadcast about the immigrants coming over here to help with the birth rate. And when I heard that, it sent a chill to me, because I'm like, she said the exact same word he said, and we're like, so who are the birth rate low on? Because it's not us. And when you hear her talk, it's almost as though she's talking as though she's one of them, and then you wonder what is them, but it's obviously not a FBA. And I just wanted to share that tonight because it was a shocking to hear her repeat and recite the same exact words that he said. You have a blessed night. This is my first time seeing you, and I'm so glad I found you, and I will follow you. Have a blessed night.
Thank you so very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, man, we got to check, and thank you for your call as well too. Hey, we got to make sure we do our research. We got to make sure we check. And then we get to the next caller. Caller from area code 317. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, yeah, this is Kevin out of Indianapolis.
What's on your mind, brother?
That Crockett girl is nothing more than entertainment to them.
Mm-hmm.
See, white folks, she get up there and do all that hood ratting. They're not afraid of her because nothing gets done from her. You see what I'm saying? So they don't even flinch when she get up there and do all that hood rat performing and stuff. And see, it's another thing that people don't realize. Democrats, if you ever notice about people that just follow the Democrats for years and no matter what, those people are brain dead. They really don't have nothing. Like, they want to go out here and target Walmart and Target and Walmart and Kroger's and all them. You cannot judge a store by what you see when you go in there to get a gallon of milk and say, well, they got rid of DEI. I don't see no black people in here. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But what they don't fail to realize, Walmart got a whole bunch of warehouses and distribution centers. So if you boycott the store, what about the brothers and sisters that work in those? You see what I'm saying? See, people don't think like that. They want to follow Al Sharpton, working on an old, like you said, he's working on an old profile. And like I said, and I seen the dumbest thing today, which was quite even embarrassing to me. They called themselves boycotting the Target. I think it was up in Michigan. And instead of just boycotting like you would normally do, they called themselves going to go in there and buy up all the black products. I said, oh, that'll hurt Target. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like they brain dead or something. You just can't reason with these people.
Yeah, these people are really, moving off of pure emotion. If you gonna buy black brands, I don't got a problem with you buying black brands. I mean, I think that's a good thing. But you doing it to spike Target, but you only trying to spike Target because of DEI, but DEI doesn't do nothing for black people. So like you just moving off of emotion and your plan is not making any sense.
Yeah, it don't. They just put more money in their pocket.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. And I got a friend, a few friends that when you ask them certain things, that make sense and logic, they don't have no reply. Well, if the Democrats do something, then you're going to turn around and say, oh, Trump going to do this. Well, what about when the Democrats did the exact same thing? Well, they don't, they not in office now. I said, no, we ain't going to go there because when they were in office and I brought that same thing up, oh, well, no, they got to undo what Trump did. They just always got an excuse, man. I can't do them no more, though, for real. Mm-hmm. But that's all, man. I think I'll go on and land here.
Appreciate you, brother. Hey, that's true. That's real talk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what all right, you too.
You have a good one, brother. Thank you for your call. Hey, that's 100% true. These people out here just moving emotionally, ain't got no type of sense. Caller from area code 251. You're on live. What is your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, Afro Elite. This is Thomas calling from Metmore, Alabama. And
what's on your mind, brother?
The other day. Well, I'm calling because Crockett, and I always say 99.9% of black politicians are anti-black, and they just support the I call it the Democrat agenda, which works for everybody else and does absolutely nothing for us. And they've been doing this for the last 60 years, but we keep running out there voting for them like we're going to win the lottery or something.
Yeah. I mean,
I was so angry. I was so angry that 92% of black women went and voted for Kamala. 7-8% of black men went out and voted for Kamala, and we get absolutely nothing in that deal.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's put it in a different way, okay? Because the exit polling, sometimes they can be a little bit deceptive. It was 90% of the women who voted, 90% of black women, 90% of the black women who voted for Kamala. It's not they're saying 90% of the total population. They're just saying 90% of the ones who voted. But let's be very clear. There was mass sit-outs between black men and black women, but most of the black people who did vote did actually vote for her. But the total amount was a low amount. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to make it seem as if it was much more black support than it really was. Because like if you say 90% of 100, you see the number or you hear the number 92%. You like, oh, that's a pretty big percentage. Yeah, it's a big percentage of a small total. It's not 90% of a million. It's 90% of 100, but they only say 90%. So I just want the chat room to understand, like, there was still mass sit-outs. The couch won. Let's be very clear. But to be honest, even the 92% is very disturbing. It is. And it is very problematic.
I had a headache after that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been, like I said, I'm 63 years old. I've been following politics since I was in my early teens. And we have never supported the Democrat Party because we saw they never did anything for us. I mean, my mother was a conservative in mind, and I did vote for Ronald Reagan twice, which was a mistake because Ronald Reagan was, in my opinion, a racist, an anti-black, hateful racist man. But we as a people, we have to stop just throwing our vote away, and because our vote helps everybody else but us. I mean, Biden brought in 20 million illegal aliens into the country, and he's giving them carte blanche in the country.
Yeah. True.
That is disgusting. And black people seeing that still went and voted en masse for this crazy, lunatic, anti-black party.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, but it's unfortunate because let's be honest, there's just some people who just never gonna see the light. They never gonna view the Democrats as bad. They never gonna not vote for the Democrats. And like I said, all of us can't make it. All of us can't make it. Let's just be honest with that. And it's unfortunate. It's a sad commentary. All of us cannot make it.
It's very
But
sad.
as we see, there's a growing number. It's first off, it's already a large number. You can ask Kamala about that. You can even ask Hillary about that. It's already a large enough number to sway an election, and that number is only growing. So there is, it's unfortunate, and we still do got to keep the pressure because that 92% that's still problematic, So we still got to keep the pressure, lower that 92% down. So that's why channels like this work against their propaganda.
That's
But
why I'm hoping that your channel will grow. I'm sorry?
I said we
sorry,
all
I didn't hear
can't
what
make
you
it,
said.
but we got a growing number.
Yes, indeed. I wanted to say one more thing. I spoke to you last week, not to change the subject much, but it is kind of on the same subject. I mentioned Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traore, and I said I wish we had leaders like him over here in this country. I meant political leaders. Our political leaders are 99.9% anti-black. They do nothing for us in this country. And he is working specifically and hard for the people of this country, and he loves his people. We just don't seem to have that here. Our politicians are sold out.
Okay, that I forget you were the one who called in and said that. Well, if I don't know if you stayed, but the chat room got on you. The chat room wrote that the people called in.
I know they were.
And got on your bumper.
I felt like they were hitting me in the stomach. I said they did not understand what I was talking about. Yeah, they jumped on me. I was surprised by that. But I don't think I made myself clear. I can understand why they got upset, but I was not talking about people like you or anything like that. I was talking about our mainstream media blacks and our black politicians. I'll argue with anybody over that 99.9% of them do absolutely nothing for Black Americans.
Okay. Well, yay.
They are enemies of Black Americans.
Okay. Well, hey, he clearing it up, chat room.
I would never vote for
He called back the next time. He's like, y'all was getting on his. Y'all got on his bumper. Hey, they got on your bumper, brother. They got on your tail.
They jumped all over. They stopped me.
they got on your bumper about it, and they kept calling. When you said that, I saw a whole bunch more people call in. I'm all like, when I see a surge of people call in after one caller, I'm all like, oh, they coming in for the roast. Oh, and they came in for the kill, brother. They came in. Brother,
they were kicking
this
me.
brother damn near got drugged like Jasmine Crockett did. He wanted to call in like, hey, I didn't mean it.
I did.
Okay. Hey, okay.
Well, thank you, sir. You have a good night.
All right, you too, brother. All right. Yeah, chat room don't be playing. I don't play no games. Caller from area code 772. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi. Good. Excuse me, Afro Elite. This is G, and I'm calling from Port St. Lucie, Florida.
What's on your mind, sister?
The first thing I wanted to say is to the brother that just called. You got to keep in mind that the leaders, our so-called leaders, that we have to represent us, they're chosen for us. They're nobody that we are picked. That's one. And Jasmine Crockett, she actually told on herself tonight when I was listening to your broadcast, when she said that she herself wrote millions of dollars to that U.S. aid. Isn't that what Doge and Trump were talking about, that they were wondering where all that money went. So her fool self actually sat there and just blabbered all over herself. So I hope they were listening to her sit up there and explain for those folks. And I just wanted to say that I love your broadcast and keep up the good work, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sister. I appreciate your support.
Bye.
You 100%
No
correct with
problem.
that. You know, Jasmine keep winding up. You know, when you let them talk long enough, they'll wind up telling on themselves. She didn't mean to slip up like she did. And then when she tries to follow up, she gets to rambling. And when she rambles long enough, she'll also slip up again. You know, where like she says she spent millions of dollars and they cut several checks for quote unquote environmental justice. What does that
Absolutely
mean?
did. I'm like, what
What
did
does
she
that
do?
mean?
Yes, it means exactly what she said. Oh, and another thing, where they were talking about Donald Trump and Elon Musk are actually about to go to Fort Knox to check on the gold. I just seen a report where they just found a bunch of gold over there in Kenya. Did you see that?
No, I
Bunch
didn't
of
see that.
gold and a bunch of it's on, I believe it was the African diaspora. I don't mean to dig up
Okay.
anybody else's channel, but it is on the internet. If you go look up gold that was found in a mine in Kenya, gold and a bunch of money, U.S. dollars. So they actually located some of that gold that they said was missing. So
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna
good
definitely
night,
research into
everybody.
that.
Yeah. Good night.
All right, you too. You have a good one. Thank you, sister. Hey, that's one thing. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna definitely look into that. But that's one thing that's very, very true. When you let them talk, she winds up telling on herself. And then when she tries to follow up, what you mean you spent millions of dollars? How do you let's be honest, and I'm gonna get to the next caller, but how do you spend millions of dollars, but the people you spent the millions of dollars for don't see it? You got to communicate. If I spend millions of dollars on anything at all, I can guarantee you it's going to be seen. I promise you it's going to be seen. I'm not spending millions of dollars and you don't notice it because I have a quote unquote bad communication issue. I got an issue with communicating it. I'm cutting off all these checks and it's saving lives, but y'all don't notice because I'm bad at communicating. Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. All right. That's interesting. Caller from area code. Let me hit the button. Caller from area code 609. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, for this Jim calling from Trenton, New Jersey.
What's on your mind, brother?
Man, this woman, man, when I saw it, I was like, okay, but now she's just getting on my nerves, man. Now she telling Karen Hunter. Now she asked her, "What do you say about black folks seeing the money getting past illegal immigrant?" And she goes and said, "We don't see it because she handed out checks for environment protection." Are they offering, when these people cross the border, are they getting checks for environment protection? Did the Afghans they brung over here, did they offer them environment checks? You see, every time it comes to FBA, when we talk about, you can see from Cory Booker on, he asks, "Hey, what do you think about reparations?" Well, it don't have to be about a check, though. All of them, every last one of them Democrats, they say that. Well, it don't got to be about a check. But every time we done saw over the past 4 years, everybody got paid. We didn't get nothing. What we got out of this administration? What a so-called black Supreme Court judge in Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got paid. And I'm sick of now the Democrats pushing her out here on this sassy girl. It's not working. The sassy girl thing not working. You know what I mean? All that. And when she singled out that one lady talking about, "My colleague showed me a tape," it was a bunch of people, white people, everybody was talking about her. But she gonna single out the one black woman, gonna say, and I'm surprised that y'all. What you said earlier is sort of like some y'all dumb Negroes, y'all ain't nothing but MAGA. This say, you know what I mean? That's what it is. And she did that for the crowd of, see, y'all don't understand how politics goes. Jasmine, she's telling the truth. That's all she is out there for the Yash girls and the black girl magic. But fam, I don't want to see them bothered. I don't want to see the Democrats in the White House, Senate, House, nowhere, not even next year, man. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing her, and I'm sick and tired of these Democrats, man.
Yeah.
Peace, brother.
Peace, brother. That's very true. Hey, I'm. They don't need to be in office for a long time. Clearly, they're not learning their lesson. Clearly, they're not learning their lesson. They don't need to be in office anytime soon. You know, and that whole sister girl, you acting this character out, because that's not how she acts at all. I'm very sure of that. And that's not how anybody who's from the grassroots would act. Not when they're in Congress. You know, Foundation Black Americans, we know how to be proper in different settings. We know there's a time and a place to act a certain way. Okay. We are the masters of code switching. All right. So the fact that she's over the top, I can see once or twice, but all of the time, no, that's an act. That is an act. Caller from area code 501. You're on live. What's your name and where you calling from? Caller from area code 501. You're on live. What is your name and where are you calling from?
This is JC from Little Rock, Arkansas.
What's on your mind, brother?
I'm calling. Yeah, first of all, I want to say your program, man, it is 100. I'm glad that you have a platform like this. You and the other upcoming stars of the black media, I just want y'all to give yourself a pat on the back for the way that y'all destroyed and took down the Democratic Party. That was fantastic to watch there.
Thank you.
And another thing I wanted to say, Jasmine Crockett it's like watching political theater. Is what it is. She's just over the top. One of those types that you see that they get put in a spot and they want to do extra to prove to master that they deserve to be there. Even when I was in the military, I was in Marine Corps and the Army. In Marine Corps boot camp and throughout the Marine Corps, out in the fleet as they call it, we would run into these type of individuals like that, referred to as coons or Sambos. They would always do extra. I mean, we passed the white sergeants or officers, we wouldn't have any problem. It would always be one of these extra Negroes that wanted to come down with some type of punishment, and they were always harder on the black Marines than they were anybody else, and he kind of reminds me of that, one of those political, theatrical coons, as you call them. And it's just ridiculous to watch her. And she should actually, the folks in her district, they should see that she's not for them, and they should do whatever they can the next election to have her removed, because she is definitely not for them. She is definitely for self. And before I get out of here, one of the things I wanted to say, y'all touched on voting. Your local vote is the most important vote that you can cast. A lot of people get caught up in this presidential election and things, which I call the illusion of inclusion, because it never benefits us. Neither party has been beneficial to us in the last 40 years. They both practice the same benign neglect politics when it comes to any issues concerning justice and economic equality for Foundation of Black America. And just because you see a black face in a high place, that does not mean they are for us or have the same mindset. And with that, I'm out of here.
That's
Take
very
care,
true.
young man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate your call. 100% correct.
Yes,
100% correct. Caller from area code 626. You're on live. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Tony, and I'm calling from Los Angeles.
What's on your mind, brother?
One thing that I'm glad about is one of the most powerful things that happened in my lifetime. I'm darn near pushing 70 years old, and is delineating. And the next thing is, as far as with our politicians and everything, if somebody that wants to represent us, all we have to do is ask them a couple questions, which are how they feel about getting a black hate crime bill and and cash reparations. And I'll tell you, if they don't believe the way we believe that we should get those two things, I don't care how smooth or how good looking they look or whatever it is, they're not for us. They're just cosplaying us.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I like is, which is like instead of would have been more powerful for somebody like a Sharpton, if you really believed in black folks, instead of boycotting or not boycotting the store because of DEI, he just would have said, hey, you know what we're going to do? You can have all the DEI you want or whatever. What we're going to do is black folks, we're going to start supporting more of our black businesses. We're going to still buy what we're going to buy. We may have to pay a little bit more sometimes, but we're going to support buy black businesses. That way, you don't have to worry about, as far as boycotting is concerned. And one thing you had mentioned, as far as this last election, yeah, although 92% of black women voted for Kamala and 78% of black men, but like you had mentioned, is that if there were like 10 million voters, let's say there were 10 million black women voters that voted before this last election, but this election right here might only been 9 million black women voters, and that made all the difference. It's just that difference, you know. And that's the beautiful thing is because like you said, we showed that the couch is winning, and what I'm doing is I got my couch, and I'm tricking it out where I got my soda pop, I got my hot dog and popcorn ready for the next election. And that way say, hey, what you gonna do this time? Because they're gonna need us. And because the main thing is like a lot of people think that, oh, it's gonna take all of us. No, it don't take all of us to crash the Democratic Party or even to influence the Republican Party, whatever policy is. All it takes is just enough of us. It doesn't take all of us, just enough of us to do what we have to do to get what we want, and we're going to get our reparations. I'm going to land my plane there.
That's very true. Everybody ain't going to make it, but that's okay. Everybody ain't going to have to. Thank you, brother.
That's right.
Appreciate your call. Because the couch is winning. The couch won in 2016. The couch won in 2024. The couch is winning. And the couch is going to keep winning. The couch ain't going nowhere. Caller from area code 919. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Antonio Burnett, calling from North Carolina, Pittsburgh, North Carolina. Thank you.
What's on your mind, brother?
Say, man, that I'm gonna tell you, my brother. I'm gonna speak right quick, and then you can get back to it. I'm gonna speak and then land my plane, and then let you can comment on it. I will catch you. I'm just not in a position where I can talk on. But first of all, when they say now the immigrants and the tellers have made when they call the ladies a bad thing, like they don't work. But my assumption is just about 10 years ago I came up with this. Just my assumption is that when they were saying we were lazy, it was that we didn't know nothing. Like we just gave the Democrats our vote. No ifs and no buts about it. We didn't study their policies or nothing. And just like now you still got diehard black people who gonna vote Democratic regardless, and you can't tell them nothing. I tried to tell my cousin today, he was talking about DEI. I said, man, they ain't doing nothing for us. But you know what? You couldn't do. You talking about all black people they hired, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, we can't let the couch win, because I'm gonna tell you what we got to do. You take like a Jasmine Crockett, right? When she go up, what we need to do is get up and go vote for her opponent and get her out of office, because they done came up with a strategy. Look to me, but let's sit.
I'm listening.
Because I'm saying, because with us being on the couch, right? They done came up with a strategy. Trust me. They won't come up with a strategy for that. You know how they do. You know how them folks do. They won't come up with a strategy for that. And second, as long as they got the diehard blacks, the only thing they trying to do right now is keep them. Is keep the diehards they got. That's all they trying to do. They know we're lost cause because we don't woke up. And on top of that, then you take, like you're talking about the low birth rate, you know they're talking about them folks low birth rate. And Billy, you know, when it comes like somebody like Jasmine Crockett saying something like that, you know they're gonna have a old damn paid immigrant whatever to come in and give her a real interview. She's not gonna get a real one because if that was the case, my brother, if you go back 2 years, right, California having to pay people, that's about women that they was sterilizing and they was in prison against they didn't know nothing about. So see, and Jasmine Crockett was to bring that up about that birth rate. Then somebody need to crack on it. Well, okay, California just got to convict. I mean, just got to lose the civil suit, but they paying these people $2 and $3 million because they, they first sterilized. If you're talking about a low birth rate, who are you talking about? And then you'll know it's really the white race. You know that. So when I tell you again, I just want to reiterate one thing. We can't let that couch win because when we're going to get the people out of office, we got to go vote for their opponent. I don't care if we got to vote a Republican in, because no matter what black people fail to realize, we ain't getting nothing regardless. So if we start letting them people know that you getting up out of there, I think the reparations start coming more into play a whole lot faster. And I thank you, my brother. I'm at the land playing there, and I just listen to you come in because I'm at the hospital with my mom, but I listen to you anyway.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I hope everything is okay with you in the hospital. I hope everything is okay. But let me address that for a second. The whole thing of not voting for the couch. My whole thing is I don't tell anybody what to do and what not to do. If you want to vote for a Republican, you have the right to vote for a Republican. If you want to vote for a Democrat, you have the right to do that. If you want to vote for Green, you have the right to do that. My thing is not to waste your vote. Okay. And my thing is whoever you vote for, they should pay the price. Your vote, just like everybody else's vote, has a price. Our vote should actually have a higher price than everybody else's vote. So we shouldn't vote, and this is my ideology, we shouldn't vote out of spite. Okay. We should vote for people who pay the price. You don't give something away because you don't want somebody else to have it. If you're not going to pay the price for the vote, then the person I give the vote to also needs to pay the price for the vote. So if we vote for somebody to get her out, somebody has to get in there. What are they going to do? How do we not make sure this is how we make sure we don't replace them with the same exact person? If you pay the price, you could be a Democrat, you could be Green, you could be Republican. If you pay the price, we cool. You get the vote. But we're not going to sit up here and just give the vote away because they don't want to pay the price. If the Democrats don't want to pay the price, we ain't just going to lower the price or give the price or give the vote away to the Republicans. I mean, because ultimately we going to repeat the cycle, going to repeat the problem. So that's my way of thinking. She does need to get voted out. I definitely agree. I 100% agree. But, whoever replaces her, we need to make sure that they pay the price. We need to make sure that they do that. Otherwise, we just going to wind up getting a Jasmine Crockett 2.0. Caller from area code 615. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Angelica Lena. I'm calling from Nashville, Tennessee. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, sister?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to make a couple of points. I really wasn't even going to call back in, but I'll start with the one, and we were talking about the gentleman who called, who everyone was kind of jumping on him, and I'm going to kind of say something about him too, about the comment that he made. Now he can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he's going to want to call back up again the next day, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't know this is off the subject too, but Burkina Faso, it seemed to me from what I read about that situation, while this man was praising the leader over there and good luck for whatever he's trying to do, that if he's really for his people, but it seems to me that he just went and traded one colonizer for another. So he got rid of the French, so to speak, but then he went to Russia. So I don't see how that was, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I read about now. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what I read. That's what it seems like he did to me. And it just seems like to me that these African leaders that are for their people, they had one or two back in the day, like Patrice Lumumba. But if these African leaders are really for their people, they just started doing this. They just started, a few of them started popping up looking like they were doing something for their people and being for their people. So to sit up here and say that, oh, well, I wish our leaders were like the ones in Africa, they just started doing whatever they're doing. And to me, they're just switching up, going from one colonizer to another. So it's not what it seems like he's making it out to be. That's not a good comparison. And what I want to say too, I keep hearing this thing about 92% of Black women voted for Kamala and 70-some percent. It's mostly the 92% because they like to say that all the Black women keep voting for the Dems, even though the majority of Black male voters still vote for the Dems too. But it's the key word is being, like you said, Afro, voters. It's not 90%, 92% of Black women voters. It's 70-some% of Black men. It's voters. It's not, and whatever those numbers are. And I still haven't ever been able to find the number. So what's like 92% of, like, let's say, like you said, what's 92% of 14? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, keep going.
So
yeah, exactly.
That gets on my nerves so bad. And the thing about it is the vote, and I typed this in the chat too, the votes for the Dems, the Black Americans vote for the Dems have been on a little over 10 years, a downward slide. If you look at the data, you see it's been decreasing little by little. It's been decreasing. And so I had seen that, I couldn't find the exact number of Black American voters, but I saw that it was actually 83% had voted for, 83% of Black American voters voted for Kamala Harris. And you can see over time, if you look, there's been a 10-year downward slide. It's been a decrease. It's not gonna just be 100% overnight. We've been voting for them as a group for decades. This is not going to go away overnight. Mm-hmm. So we need to stop beating up on ourselves about it. We're getting there. And like you said, everybody can't come. Scripture tells us that. And then our baby boomers are the majority of the ones that are voting for them. And our baby boomers they're dying off. No one likes to think about their grandmothers and parents passing away, but they're dying off slowly but surely over time. And you're seeing a decrease in the votes that the Dems get. And one last thing I will say, I'll just say this, and I heard someone say this, and I don't know, it may have been you, Afro. The thing about Jasmine Crockett, the only thing with her is she's like she's just like the Dems version of Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's really all she is. She's just their attack dog. And no one's checking for her. No. So that's all I'll say, and I'll leave it there. Thank you for taking my call.
And thank you for calling. You 100% correct. You're 100% correct with that. And that's what I keep saying is that we got to make sure we know exactly how we frame it, because when you say 90, they keep saying 92% as if it was 92% of all Black women in the country. And that clearly can't be the case. There's no way. Listen, let me say it. There is absolutely no way in the world that she lost all of the swing states. I mean, she literally lost pretty much worse than anybody has ever lost a presidential race. She lost all of the swing states and the popular vote. There's no way that could have happened if 92% of the Black women in America voted for her. And then it was almost like 90, it was like 85 something percent of Black men. That doesn't make sense. They're not telling you the total amount of people who turned out. They're just giving you the population of who voted for Harris versus Trump. They're not giving you the total amount because they don't want you to know how many Black people sat out. If they didn't have a problem, they would say that we had a huge increase, a spike in voters. They're not saying that. They're being very vague with the numbers of Black people who actually turned out.
Exactly. And so thank you for all this information with Jasmine Crockett. And we really appreciate you, giving us these lessons. Mm-hmm. And good night. Black first.
Black first. Thank you. That's very true. That's very true. Let me get to this other caller. Caller from area code. That's our good sister Angelica Lena. Caller from area code 657. You're on live. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Afro Elite? Hey, it's D from Cali. Yeah, I just want to say that Republicans and the Democrats, they understand and realize that Black Americans are using their political power to shift, you know what I'm saying, Republican power or Democratic power. But they understand that the Democratic Party is just done with money with as far as Black Americans go. They know that the Democratic Party has been selling them out for the last 60 years. We have been knocking on the door, letting them know what our demands are, letting them know that we need tangibles, let them know that we need a black crime bill, and they keep on throwing these Democratic shields at us, and the shields are not working. That's where a lot of these people are losing their jobs. A lot of these people, they're not putting money behind them, and you know, it's a few people on the list, and then they're trying to throw that this gender divide. Sister girl Jasmine Crockett in our face, and you know the whole Black community sees right through it. Especially Black women sees right through it, because what affects Black men affects Black women, and it affects the whole Black American community as a whole. What happens, what goes on in the country, and you know we are standing down, 10 toes down on our demands. We need reparations, freedom of compensation, tangibles, a crime bill. That's on the list, and the Republican Party understands that. That's why they know that they have a better chance of staying in power, because the Democratic Party keep coming on with these same goofies. If one goofy get knocked out the box, they put another goofy up there. They put another goofy up there with symbolism, you know. And we're not falling for that. They're surprised that we're so intellect as far as being political, that they you know, they don't know how to come at us. They don't know what game plan to come, but keep throwing these same goofies at us. So, you know, they know if they don't come with any tangibles or any freedom of compensations tangibles, they're done with money. They might be done with money for the next 2 or 3 elections. But yeah, that's all I had to say. Be1.
Be1, brother. And I fully agree. They keep trying to put out these characters and put people in front of the camera and all that stuff. That's not going to work. The Republicans don't do that. The Republicans aren't trying to put out a Republican representative in front of the cameras all of the time. That's not what the Republicans are trying to do. We'll wrap the calls up right there. But the Republicans ain't doing that. That's not how they operate. The Republicans, they give you the policies. They talk about the agenda, and that's it. They ain't out here trying to put on no damn show. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I'm not sitting up there condoning. You got some extra Republicans. You got some Republicans who ain't about nothing but nonsense. So we ain't sitting up there condoning any and all of the Republicans or just the Republican Party in general. But let's be honest, all of this extra performative stuff, and you sitting up there talking as if you know what's going on. You sitting up there talking as if what Trump is about to do for the people is about to destroy the economy and whatever the case is. Y'all not admitting that y'all got a problem. Y'all not admitting that y'all got a problem. And okay, y'all not admitting that you guys are wrong. Y'all got to come up with a different game plan. It's like football. In football, if you keep trying to throw the ball, for instance, for everybody who knows about football, you know, sometimes there are short passes and then sometimes there are long passes. If the quarterback wants to just get a little bit ahead, if they just want to make the yard or whatever the case is, they might throw the ball short. They might pass the ball to a runner or whatever the case is, right? They might throw long if they need to get a lot of yardage or something like that, or if the time is running down. If you keep on doing the same play, or you might even try to run the ball, if you keep on doing the same exact play and you're not getting nowhere, then you need to think, you know what, maybe we should run a different play. Maybe we should change up the strategy. Maybe we should do something different, but they don't. They don't. Jasmine is the new Democratic it girl. She's all over the interviews, and she's all over in I wouldn't say TV, but she's all over the news, and they got her. They promote every single thing that she does. Okay. She really ain't got too much to show for her being in office. I mean, let's look at the condition of her district. The people in her district ain't vouching for her, ain't singing her praises. But yet she's on TV. Yet she's on the Breakfast Club. Yet she be snapping off about anything and everything that aligns with the Democratic Party. Let's get to, come on, we got to get to some of these super chats. We got to get to these super chats because y'all been, well, of course you asked the question if we gonna open up the phone lines, but that was right when I was doing it. So thank you for that, Sister Nisi. And then you says Tom Slick. Tom Slick says, what is she talking about? She not drunk, just apoplectic, flunky, failing bad. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what it is, but she don't make no sense when she talks. And she talks for like anytime she talks for longer than like 30 seconds, she starts to like go all, especially in an interview, she starts to go all over the place. And you're like, well, okay, well, you just said 2 sentences ago that we shouldn't have immigrants. Now you're saying we need immigrants. Well, like, where are you going? And has this have anything to do with reparations? What are you talking about? The dollar stretches more when it's outside the country. What does that mean for me? Like, you know, let her talk any longer than 30 seconds and she got a foot in her mouth. Honestly. Shout out to Black Americans Come First for the super sticker. Thank you very much. 48 TCO says the caller who wanted to make sure we heard the roast. Oh yeah. Oh, that caller made sure. And I just said, hey, I don't know if you heard, but the family got on your bumper. I ain't apologized for it. The family got on his bumper about it. He was like, yeah, I know. I needed to clear my name. Because when he did that, when he made that statement, I saw a whole bunch of people in the queue. I'm like, ooh, oh, this ain't gonna be good. When I see a spike of people in the queue, because sometimes people just be listening, and then a caller comes in and they'll say something that's crazy. And then people are like, oh, I wasn't gonna call it. They say that all the time. Like, I wasn't gonna call in. I was just chilling. I was just watching. But then I heard something say that they picked up the phone. I'm like, oh, he was about to get it. I knew he was about to get that business. And I'm shout out to everybody who's doing everything progressive in Africa. Much respect to that. But like I said, I think a week ago, let's not give credit until we see the result. Okay. Like Sister Angelica Lena said, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people who are claiming that they doing something good. You know, and then we give all of this credit, we give all of this praise, but we don't really see the result. We gonna give credit where credit is due. That's how we operate. We always give credit where credit is due, but we gonna see the results first. We ain't gonna give credit for the initiative. We ain't gonna give credit for the wants and desires. Let's see the results of what you got going on, okay? Because I'm not gonna lie, and this is out of love, but the diaspora ain't been hitting on nothing lately. Y'all been missing a lot. So we're going to need to see some results before y'all get a trophy for nothing. All right. But caller, Lord have mercy. I'm still in that mode. Another super chat goes to Maria. Shout out to Maria. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Then we got our brother Cyberdon. He says, callers and chat, tell it like it is. Oh yeah. Tell it like it is. He always a good caller. Always. And good in the chat room. Shout out to Tell It Like It Is and shout out to Cyberdon. You also had another super chat from yesterday. Yes, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. And I didn't get a chance to acknowledge that. I got off right before I saw it. So shout out to that and shout out to last night. Tim again, he says, that's a great idea. Send her to Mexico. Oh, she loves them so much. She loves them so very much. You can send them over there. You can send her over there. She probably would fit very well over there. Probably. And then our sister Nisi again sends an $100 super chat. Says, gotta bless you again, Afro FBA Warrior. Thank you so very much because that is very, very helpful. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you tremendously. Thank you. Like I'm saying, brothers and sisters, I'm saying, man, I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. Jasmine Crockett. That's not the wrong picture. Jasmine Crockett been putting her foot in her mouth for the longest time. If she was supposed to be the one who carries the Democrats, because this is what they need. This is what the Democrats do. They really put their eggs in one basket, and they really force one person to essentially carry them the way. See, let me tell you something. The Democrats kind of work like a basketball game, a basketball team. The Democrats don't work where everybody on the team is really good. They don't have like a super team. They don't got a team of all-stars. That's not what the Democrats have. What the Democrats have is they got a team, and everybody on the team is amateur at best. And what they want is they want one person to essentially carry the team. They want a Michael Jordan, even though the 90s and the Bulls, there were multiple good players, but follow the analogy. Follow me, y'all. Follow me. They need a team of average players, and then they want a Michael Jordan to carry the team to the championship. Then they want a Kobe Bryant to carry the team to the championship, or the LeBron James to carry the team to the championship. Okay? So this is why you see, it seems like the Democrats, now, if they want to talk to the Democrats, why do you think that they keep talking to the same exact Democrats? It's not like, I want you guys to really think about it this way. It's not like ABC, some letter, no, it's MSNBC, Lord have mercy. MSNBC, CNN. It's not like they're talking to all of the Democrats in Congress, but you see ABC, CNN, MSNBC, you see all of them consistently talking to a handful. They're always talking to a handful. They're always giving the spotlight to a handful. There's multiple people out here with multiple districts, but they ain't got nothing going on. They don't got no charisma. They're terrible on camera. So that's why they need a LeBron. That's why they need a Michael Jordan. That's why they need a Kobe Bryant. That's why they need them. Okay? And they gonna keep on promoting and promoting. And the Democratic Party, they love to have women fill this role. So they'll have the Maxine Waters or the AOCs, or now you got the Jasmine Crockett's out here, and you'll see them. They get all of the interviews, they get all of the spotlight, and they'll get out on their cameras and be like, I'm gonna tell you about yourself. That the sister girl thing where they always snapping off and telling you about yourself. That's how they get down. That's how they get down. But it just don't work. It ain't hitting on nothing. Nobody is buying it. Nobody is buying it. Because the thing is, if you're going to rely on LeBron to carry you to the championship, then your LeBron needs to play like LeBron. If you're going to rely on Michael Jordan to carry you to the championship, then your Michael Jordan needs to play like Michael Jordan. Your Michael Jordan can't play like an average player and not be your Michael Jordan. You need somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. You need somebody who actually got some points on the board. You got Jasmine Crockett putting her foot in her mouth every other interview, every other live. How is she going to be your Michael Jordan, Democrats? I need y'all to really think about that. Y'all putting all your eggs in this basket, and this woman is putting her foot in her mouth damn near every time she opens it. Yeah, it looked like y'all ain't going to the championship or winning the playoffs no time soon. It did. That's what it looked like to me. Y'all ain't getting nowhere no time soon if y'all gonna rely on this card. Y'all gonna keep playing this game. Y'all not getting nowhere no time soon. I promise you that. I can guarantee you that. Y'all not getting nowhere no time soon. Let me get to some of the other super chats. We got Latrivia. Latrivia sends a super cash app. Latrivia sends a cash app. And then let me get to Pamela. Pamela also sends a cash app. Thank you so very much. And then Delilah. Delilah just sent a cash app. And thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. And all of that stuff is grateful. I'm grateful for it. And it's very helpful. It's tremendously helpful. So thank you so very much for that. And to everybody who sends the cash apps as well. You say, what's her shoe? I don't know. I don't know. Let's be honest. She keep putting her foot in her mouth. You know what's interesting? And I want to play this to you guys. Let me see if I have this other clip because it's gonna, let me see. I need to see if I have this other clip. Come on, computer, don't. Hold on. You know, Let's play this clip one more time.
But it's not a.
Hold on. Let's play this clip one more time, y'all. One more again. Okay, right here.
Is that we've been on a birth decline for a minute in the United States. And so if we're going to keep this economy going, immigration actually helps us out. But
we've been on a birth decline for a minute in the United States. You know what else that reminds me of when she said it? You know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of this.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European.
Don't that seem like that? It seems like the agenda of the Democratic Party and the fear of the Democratic Party. Okay, it seems like that's starting to come out. Because the second she said that, I'm all like, that reminds me of when Biden said that this country is doomed because it's going to be minority white. And here she goes
it's
talking
not a
about
matter
we got
of
a birth
minute
defect problem.
It is going to cost us more money. But even when we're spending the money, what we need people to understand is that we've been on a birth decline for a minute in the United States. And so
okay. A birth decline for a minute. And you know, Joe Biden has the same concerns.
This country is going to be minority white European.
Okay. So I want y'all to understand, they're really telling on themselves at this point. They're telling on the fact that they need all of these other buffer classes to come in the same way with the Homestead Act, because they did the same thing with the Homestead Act. Do you understand that Italians, they were not considered white? Irish were not considered white, because white, and I've said this in another live stream, white, the race is really classifications. Okay, it is a social construct, but these are classifications. All right. So these racial classifications, and our shout out to our brother Neely Fuller Jr. who talks about this. These racial classifications, they allow certain people to come in that fits the best interest of white supremacy. So when it fit the best interest of white supremacy, they allowed Italians to come in and they allowed them to become classified as white. They allowed Irish to become classified as white, Polish classified as white, Greek classified as white. All of these other Europeans who were originally not classified as white, they allowed them to be classified as white. They even did that with Hispanics. So now you got a whole bunch of Hispanics who are originally not classified as white, but since they need them to be classified as white, they allowed them to be classified as white. They have always used immigration to help fill their numbers in so they can have a population size that maintains the racial hierarchy in this country. And Biden established that when he said in that Zoom call that this country is doomed because it's going to be minority white European. So they're trying to get it, a bunch of people. They're going to go through a classification, a trial, essentially. And then they're going to start to become classified as white. And a lot of these people in their country right now, they already classified themselves as white. So mentally, psychologically, they're already on that page. So that's something that Jasmine actually low-key told on the Democratic Party about. And I'm not saying the Republicans ain't about that too and don't have that concern as well. Because that's the real reason why they tried to overturn Roe v. Wade. That's a real reason. Okay, so the Republicans, they just got a different method to it, but they got the same concern. So let's be very clear. But it's interesting when they tell on themselves. It really is. It very much so is. Family, we've been on here for over 3 hours. Y'all been sticking with me for over 3 hours. We've been on here for over 3 hours. We still got 600 people in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate every single last one of you guys. Y'all, I tremendously do. You know, this is the last live stream of Black History Month, so I appreciate you guys for being with us. We had a pretty beneficial Black History Month, I think so. I think the channel did pretty well for Black History Month. So shout out to every single last one of you guys. All right, y'all give yourselves a round of applause for real. Y'all deserve it. Y'all honestly do. So shout out to y'all. We did pretty good. We did pretty good. Okay. For Black History Month. And the year's just getting started. We still got more stuff. We still got more projects we got to finish. We still got a lot of this stuff we got to get done. All right. We still got a lot we got to cover. We got to handle. So I appreciate every single last one of you guys. Now, what I need you guys to do is I need you guys to follow me on my various social media platforms. That's Afro Elite on Instagram and then The Afro Elite on Twitter. And the link to that, or X. And the link to that is in the description below. Also, I need you guys, if you haven't done so yet, I need you guys to hit that like button. I need you guys to hit that like button. Please hit the like button, okay? If you will be so kind to hit that like button. If you will be so kind also, if you like what you hear tonight, make sure that you hit that subscribe button because that helps us expand. That helps us grow. That helps more people come in, okay? So we can spread the knowledge of what we do here. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys don't miss out on anything by hitting that notification button, all right? And with the subscribe button and notification button, because sometimes they be tripping, y'all make sure y'all double check. Just double check. Double check. Make sure it stayed that way. All right. Now, with that being said, my beautiful Black brothers and Black sisters, I appreciate every single last one of you all. Salute to you all. Happy Black History Month. We did a lot of good work this Black History Month. So happy Black History Month to every single last one of you all. Y'all stay blessed and y'all have a good one.